welcome in.
Start whenever you want.
Electric Casuals. Welcome to Beards, Ears, and Skulls Battle Report. Here with Tim, who's never played this before.
I've never
doesn't really have any idea what's happening.
No clue. But you know, we'll figure it out.
We've got a big rainstorm outside. We just had to go through a bunch of technical difficulties, and now he's going to learn a whole bunch of rules he's never read before.
And never will read.
Yeah, accurate. I even printed out the list for you to not read.
Don't even know what these are words?
Well, mostly numbers.
The numbers I'm actually okay-ish with.
Nice.
So,
right. So we're doing 500 points today to teach Tim the old world. Plan to do a couple more to get bigger and bigger games, add more mechanics like magic. For now, we just stuck with infantry and a little bit of shooting. I'm playing High Elves, as you can see, way above me.
yes.
On the top of the screen up there somewhere. And Tim is playing Skaven.
Skaven, I think is how it's pronounced.
There's so many different ways people can say Skaven. So, yeah, we're going to start from the very beginning.
Which actually, so this is something I did learn.
Yeah.
Skaven is the pluralized version of Skaffen, which to means one rat man.
With an F.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully there's only one rat man left at the end. So we're going to plan on just a super basic pitch battle. No extra special rules, just except for the random game length.
Pitch battle. So this is Blood Bowl? No. That's played on a pitch.
It's not Blood Bowl.
Okay.
But you will roll tons of ones, I'm sure.
Oh, I can't. I wouldn't even bet against it. Yeah.
Wait to roll all the ones.
Can't wait to roll so many ones.
All right, so like I said, keep things simple. Tim's list is 2 chieftains.
Two chieftains.
Heavy armor.
You can find that out just by reading this piece of paper?
You can, yeah. Look at this. Skaven chieftain, hand weapon, heavy armor. One of them's a general. There's another one. He's not the general.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So the 2 models over there, you can choose which one's the general. I usually use the metal one because he's cool. He's the little Queek head taker model.
Yeah.
A great name.
I'll Queek it up.
And then 2 units of 20 clan rats, both with shields. One has spears, one doesn't. So little different types of weapons for you. And each have a warp fire thrower weapon team attachment, which is awesome. 2
on the pitch, 1 in the Queek.
For my High Elves, try to keep it simple as well. I got a noble with like full plate armor, a bow of Avalorn, and a seed of rebirth. So he's got a regen. So he's a little like arguably better than the Ratman, but he also costs a lot more. He's with 21 spear elves because of points, and then 2 units of 5 archers.
There's spearos in this as well?
Spear elves.
Oh, spear elves.
This is, a Pokemon miniatures game would be great. They tried one way back in the day, and it was dumb. Because you spun the model, whatever it landed on was the attack it did. It was stupid.
Oddly enough, back when the Bearded Dragon was the Gamer's Bazaar, they made a Pokemon miniatures game. That was actually very fun.
I would probably play one if it was any decent. And then a Tyrannok Chariot to round it out, because Chariots are awesome, and I wanted Tim to see a few different types of units without being overwhelming. So we're not doing any magic. Nothing. Chariot's the most complex model here. The next step up, we'll do 1,000 points, and we'll add magic and like monstrous infantry and a monster.
And what is a Tyrannok? Tyrannok?
Tyrannok Chariot. It's the region of the island of Uthwan that the elves are from.
Gotcha.
Named after. So it's just a chariot.
And they're always kind of like encroaching on other people's land. They're like, Tyrannok knock, we're here. We're going to take your water or whatever.
Yeah, it's going to be all game. All right, so a couple quick things. You want to take a look at the sheet I printed out for you?
Nope.
To look at the numbers.
Oh, yeah, numbers.
Like those.
I do.
So I'll go real quick through the profile there. So M is movement, of course. That's how far in inches they can go. If they march, they double that.
Okay.
Weapon skill.
Is that the number I try to roll above for a successful attack?
So weapon skill, you compare it to the opponent's weapon skill.
Gotcha.
And then it's depending, like if they're the same, it's 4s. If yours is higher, it's 3s, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Ballistic skill is just what it sounds like. The only shooting you have doesn't use ballistic skill anyway, so don't worry about that right now. Just obviously higher better.
Don't worry about rat right now.
Don't worry about rat. They're all going to die. And then we've got strength and toughness are pretty straightforward. Strength, you compare to the enemy's toughness when you roll to wound in combat, or like the strength of the weapon if it's shooting. And then wounds is how many wounds they take before they're dead. So your characters have 2, everything else has 1. The warp fire throwers, because there's 2 rats on there, has 2.
Has 2, okay.
And then initiative is how quick you, when you're in combat, higher initiative goes first, which is really important. and especially in this edition of the game. A is attacks, pretty straightforward. That's just how many attacks you get, how many dice you roll. And then leadership. Of course, higher is better. Maxes out at 10. Skaven, really low with
have
6. But you have this awesome rule called Warband, where you get to add your current rank bonus to the leadership.
Oh, okay.
So if you stick those guys, like on his own, obviously he's got leadership 6, but you put him in a unit of clan rats, and he can add 3 because the clan rats have horde.
Okay.
So they can count their rank bonus 1 higher than normal, which is pretty sweet. So they actually have leadership 9 when they're in a full unit of rats.
Numbers being more numbers, normally a good thing, I think.
Higher leadership's always better.
I also appreciate you writing out a lot of these rules in ASCII art, so it's made out of numbers, so I am able to read it.
You're welcome. Right? Because numbers are easy that way. So a couple of things. So first thing we'll do, of course, is deployment. So we roll off to see who deploys first. I got a 6. I got a bear.
I got a 1.
That's so... Wow, okay. That's pretty...
I bet you didn't think you were going to always win priority in this game, too.
So when you're deploying, you deploy 1 unit at a time.
Okay.
So I'll just start with my spear owls to make it easy. So I marked out our deployment zones here. You can deploy up to the dice that I put out. So I'm just deploy my 20 spears. I
will deploy my rat clan.
So those are clan rats with spears.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it easy, I put storm vermin models in to be your champions, just so it was very clear who the champion was.
Okay.
And then you're going to deploy 1 warp lightning cannon, warp fire thrower.
Is that this?
With them. Yep. I think that to be within 3. So how this thing works, just so you have an idea of what's going to happen, is you take that flame template and you place it anywhere within 6 inches within its forward arc. So like, you can't put it over this way. So usually often you're going to put it the max.
Oh, nice.
You place it and then you roll that artillery die and it goes that many inches forward. So then we would move it forward 4 inches and then we would roll. Just not roll, but whatever models it's over, it hits or has a chance to hit.
And so this is just a regular D6? Oh, what's the... oh, no.
So you're going to be familiar with the misfire, probably.
Is that the critical?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is bad now.
That's bad.
Gotcha.
You don't want to roll that exclamation point. That's a misfire, and good chance they'll blow up. But, excuse me, the only thing with the warp fire throwers is they cannot move and shoot in the same turn.
So you said within 3, right? So I can put them here?
No, they got to stay in the deployment zone.
Okay.
Like grunts.
We'll put them over here.
So typically, what usually happens with those guys is you march them up the first turn as far as they can, and then they shoot from there.
Nice.
Because they can't move and shoot.
And marching is different than moving.
So marching, you double your movement, but there are limitations to it.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to start with some archers. I'll do 5 archers over here. These guys have long bows. They have 30-inch range.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So when I want to move these guys up through here, do they have to fit through the terrain?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like this piece here is a custom piece tailor-made. We just count the rocks. Like if you're on the footprint of it, that's just grass, that's fine.
Okay. And then that'll come out with a warp fire cannon as well, you said?
Yep. And then I've got a couple more units to do. And then when it gets back to your turn, you place all your characters last.
But at the same time?
2, yes.
Okay.
And you can place them. I feel like I might as well just put my archers over here then. They can go in units.
Gotcha.
They can go in units or they can go on their own. What's a couple cool things, they have a rule called look out, sir. Or maybe it's something different when they're out of the unit. But if they're within 3 inches of a unit of the same type as them, you just can't target them unless they're the closest thing.
Gotcha.
Or you can put them right in the unit, which I recommend. The idea is basically you have 2 units running around.
And I'm doing that now?
Yep, so then it's your turn to deploy again.
So I put them right in the middle of the... Or just do they have to
stay
within a certain...
the fighting rank. So if you're placing them in the unit, you would just replace one of the models. Actually, I'll help you out here. Because if we say this guy's your general, we'll put him more centralized because he gives an aura of his leadership around to the other models.
So the same thing over here too?
Yeah. So just they have to go in the fighting rank, the front rank. They can move around a little bit. like in combat, but for the most part, you just want them right in the front rank because they're going to want to hit stuff or run away.
So then are these guys still in there? They're just not technically...
Yep, so we just put them on along. They're the one model in that last rank.
All right, I've already started knocking a whole bunch of stuff over,
yep.
but...
I've expected that. All right, so I'll place my chariot over here, and I'm going to do the same thing with my noble. My character is also going to go in my unit of spears. And then we are deployed.
Okay, we did it. Pretty much halfway done.
Yeah. So turn structure in this game is pretty typical, old school wargaming where you do everything, then I do everything.
Okay.
For a round, right? Well, we roll off. So we roll off again. This time you finish deploying first. You get +1. Shocked you didn't roll a 1 for a 2.
I rolled 5 ones, actually.
So you got a 6. My turn to roll a 1. So actually you get to go first.
Dumb. Okay. So I'm moving everything.
So, well, we'll slow down a little bit here.
Wow.
So before you even move, you have the strategy phase.
Yes.
Where some units and abilities have abilities that go off in that phase. We don't have any here. Again, kind of on purpose. We don't really have access to a lot of that anyway. Or like if you need to rally fleeing troops, that happens before the movement phase.
Okay.
Certain spells you'll cast before the movement phase.
Before movement? So I can't like move up? Oh, because each one happens at different phases.
Yes. So like
That's right.
Basically buffs and debuffs. Your enchantments and hexes happen in the strategy phase.
I remember that from a podcast that I was playing World of Warcraft during, Beers, Ears, and Skulls.
Yes. So then we can go to the movement phase. So normally first thing you would do in the movement phase is declare charges.
Okay.
So the only way to get into combat is to declare a charge and then roll it. And
then actually get there.
Into combat. So nothing's in charge range right now. Charge range is your movement. So your movement on your clan rats, you're going to move the lowest speed of a unit. They're all 5 though.
Okay.
Just all the basic infantry. You guys are 5. So for a charge, what you would do if you were in range is the highest you could go is 5 + 6 is the maximum.
Oh, because you could roll a 6.
Right.
Up to a 6.
So you would roll 2d6 and take the higher. So there we got the maximum charge.
Oh, so I'd move my movement plus bear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But obviously nothing's in range. So the first turn is usually mostly positioning, maybe a little bit of shooting. Kind of like an MCP where it's usually move, or move and interact and move kind of thing. So movement in this game is pretty, I don't want to say finicky, but like in the beginning, you're probably just going to be marching on up. So if you march, you double your movement so you can move up to 10 inches. But it stops you from doing like much of anything else.
Okay.
Unless you have very special rules, you can't shoot if you march. And then like you can only do one type of maneuver.
Okay.
So you can like turn or go backwards or reform completely, or wheel is the most common maneuver. You wheel where you pivot.
You're like turning?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like if you're probably going to want to move up and then wheel like this. You're not going to go right through the woods. So like you would move up a bit and then wheel some more of your movement to change the frontage.
Okay. So in this, and I'm going to be doing this with one unit, all units?
So you get to do all your movement.
Okay. And if I wanted to shoot this particular round too, these warp fire things.
Right. You're not going to want to though.
Okay.
You're not in range.
Okay.
So just to get a visual, so like this is the front of your unit. When you wheel, you literally just pivot on the corner. Then I move the whole thing. Just whoop, that's a wheel.
Okay.
And measuring a wheel is incredibly difficult to do it super accurately. So most people are real generous with it, where it's like, okay, I moved up 3 inches and then I'm going to wheel 2, So.
All right. So I have, now these warpfire cannons are part of this unit as well?
So they're like a detachment, sort of. They're their own unit.
Yeah.
They just had to deploy with it. And they have that same rule, I can't shoot it unless it's the closest model, if it's within 3 inches of its parent unit.
Okay.
Which is really cool.
All right. So I then total have 4 different units?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
So because you have 5, I'm going to pass.
Good try.
Okay.
And unfortunately, for the first turn, the winner of the roll-off takes the first turn. You don't even get a choice.
All right.
just get it.
So, and it's always kind of in straight lines, or can I go diagonals?
So to do diagonal, you have to wheel.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And can you wheel first?
Yeah, you can wheel whenever. You can only do one maneuver during your turn, so you can't like move up, wheel, and then turn the whole unit to face this way. But you could wheel multiple times.
And
if you need to.
What are some of the maneuvers? What are the other maneuvers outside wheel?
So you can reform is pretty common, where you can like the center of the unit stays where it is, but you can change its facing. You could change how many ranks and files you have. That happens a lot after combats to like turn the whole unit to face another way to either take a charge in the front or to prepare for another charge.
Now, some of the terrain on here, like this spooky forest, right?
Yes.
Moving through that is fine or no?
You get -1 movement.
Okay.
If you're going through, so we call this difficult terrain. Great question. Should have started with that. I didn't want to throw too much in the beginning. You're at
we can throw stuff like MCP?
Some units.
Okay.
And then if you're in combat and a quarter or more of your unit is in the woods, you're what's called disrupted, where you don't count your rank bonus for combat, which is really bad for Skaven, because then you also don't count it for your leadership.
Gotcha. All right, so I think what we'll do here then is we're going to start with a wheel.
Okay.
Now with these here, effectively that model is going to turn through that. Is that effectively what would be?
You can like overlap your own units while wheeling, as long as you end your wheel not overlapping.
Okay, so I think
you could move this guy first if you want.
Oh, okay. So yeah, let's do that. So let's move him up 5, and that's just a regular move, right? And does it have to be wholly within that 5 at the end, or like, is this okay?
Well, wholly within. So you measure front to front.
Front to front.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would be back
not
here.
Not like MCP.
Okay. And then I can move and then wheel with them?
Yeah, I just want to make sure they're not... I'm surprised they actually don't have skirmisher. So that makes sense. Yeah, so you do actually have to wheel the little single model unit.
Okay. So then we'll do the same thing up here. We'll wheel first. And then we'll go... And if I'm doing anything that would not be considered kosher, do let me know.
We just, we'll call that first wheel like 2 inches or so. So you've gone like 7 if you're marching. Well, you'd have to be marching to go that far.
Oh, so when you wheel, it takes up part of your movement.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so you need to measure the wheel so you know how far you
hold. So we'll go there with it. And then I do these as well.
So the only thing here is that I'd recommend the facing of this guy. You need to anticipate where I'm going to go, because if you move, you can't shoot it.
Okay.
Right? So he's getting ready to shoot my chariot.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, then same thing with that unit.
And they will just go up. No wheels, no deals, no automobiles. And then same here. So you were saying earlier, so they can be on the grass?
Yeah.
And that doesn't count as like disrupting them or something like that?
Yeah, we'll just call the rocks, the like bricks there, is like impassable.
And then these ones are sleepy.
Yep. Yeah, that I need to get like a penny or washer to put on that base, because that dude is real top heavy on the little base. I didn't put him on a bigger one because we have these conversion trays, but he likes to fall over a lot. So as long as he's there, don't worry about it too much.
Okay. And that's all my movement.
And effectively, that's your turn. Because there's like, you could say, oh, I could shoot my warpfire thrower, but there's no reason to risk it, because you could blow it up and die.
Gotcha. That sounds like it's probably bad.
Yeah.
All right.
There's 75 points a model in 500 points, so you don't want to just blow them up.
Gotcha.
You can avoid it.
They're almost a third of my points.
But they can hit really hard. So I will say, if you want to change anything, because this shoots a flame template, if you hit my chariot, it'll be a partial hit almost. I don't think you can totally cover the base in any way. So the best you can do is 1 hit on this.
Okay.
But if you shoot like a block of infantry, you could get like 12 hits.
Gotcha. But that would be that'd be next turn though.
Yeah.
But if I wheel at all, that counts as movement, so that would affect me being able to shoot.
Right. So that's why you want to
get
him in that
for
position
next
first. So like I'd recommend him pointing towards the infantry, not the chariot.
Okay. So I'll just put him like up here then. Right?
Yeah, because we'll just say let's say if you want to just move him up, he was like here, 10 inches. He could have gone up to like.
No, I don't want to go up that far.
You just want to go there, the 5. Just face the center.
Yep.
Because that's a scary prospect. Those 2 warpfire throwers right in the middle. Knowing your luck, at least one will blow up. But that's still kind of scary. So my elves are also movement 5, I believe. Let me double check. I feel like they might be 6, but no, they're 5. I think some elves are 6, like really special ones.
Some elves are sick too. Sick.
So I'm going to be real aggressive and just march up my full 10.
Okay. And after each round, do we roll to see who goes first, or does it just go back and forth?
No, you're just going to go first every round.
Nice.
No double turns.
Okay.
The chariot is either movement 8 or 9, because elven horses are zippy fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't remember.
Which in German means the elven chariots are either 8 or no.
They are 9.
Okay.
Pretty sweet. So I should have seen if it was even a possible charge first. It's not. They have so a lot of cavalry have a rule called Swift Stride, which allows them to roll. So first off, its movement is 9, right? So its maximum charge is 15.
Gotcha.
But with Swift Stride, you can charge things up to 18 inches away. They get plus, in that case, 18. They get plus 3 inches to the maximum charge because they roll their 2, take the highest, and then roll another 1 to add it. So that would be 8 and 9. That would be a 17-inch charge.
Okay.
But you guys are like 20 inches away. You're actually just barely out of my maximum.
Classically trained player.
So we're going to march. Let's see how close we want to get. Let's just go 9 first. Because chariots can march. In older editions of the game, they couldn't. Which was weird. Never made any sense to me. So I could go and just like get right up in your face. Because if you get a bunch of bonuses for charging. There's not a bunch, but you get an initiative bonus for charging. But I think I'm going to stay back just to make it not as likely for you to charge. We'll just stay here and like, you got to roll, honestly, just out of your max charge.
Okay.
Then I have archers here that I don't know if they're going to move. Because I have bows, I have long bows that have 30-inch range. You take penalties if you shoot over half range of the weapon. Okay. But you also get penalties if you move. Right. So like if I move within half range of my bows, it's kind of like whatever. Okay. It's the same thing as shooting this far back. So I think I'm actually just not going to move because 15 is here, which I could easily get into, but I don't want to be too, I feel like we're going to have a lot of combat right in the middle. So I want to stay back a bit. So we'll get our first shots. So I obviously didn't have anything in this
and there's not really defense rolls, right? Like you're rolling to hit and then to wound, and then I'm rolling to see whether I'm tough enough to just ignore it or not effectively.
You get an armor save, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So you get armor, then a ward save if you have it, then regeneration if you have it.
Okay. And I have all of those, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have armor. So in this case, we'll get to it if it happens. So I'll start with these first 5 elves here. Okay. We'll shoot. They're ballistic skill 4, so normally they would need 3s to hit. Okay. Because ballistic skill is 7 minus your ballistic skill is what you need to hit. It's the easiest way to remember that. Okay. But because I'm shooting over half range of -1, so I need 4s to hit. And I got 2. So now I roll the wound. Bows are strength 3.
And my toughness is what I should be looking for here?
Look at your clan rat toughness because I'm going to hit the unit before the characters.
Okay, so the clan rats are 3.
Cool. So they're the same, so it's 4s. Okay. Right, 50% chance.
I thought you said yours was 4 and mine's 3, so shouldn't yours be better?
My ballistic skill was 4. The strength of the bow
Gotcha,
yeah.
Okay.
But they have a rule called Armor Bane with longbows. So if you roll a 6, it becomes an AP 1, which we'll get to. So I need 4s, 6s are good. I got 2 5s. So if I did roll a 6, you'd be -1 to your armor save. But I didn't, so you just need 2 armor saves from that unit. You have light armor and a shield. Okay. So that's a 5 up. Because light armor is a 6+ and a shield is +1 to your save.
And where do I see that on here? That's
so
under
here it
there.
says light armor, shield. It doesn't like spell it out.
So I'm rolling 2 here and I'm looking for 5 or better.
Yes.
Okay. I've rolled a 1 and a 3. So is that going to plink off 2 of my dudes?
Yeah, so 2 rats die. So you just take it from the back. So that one extra guy, and then just somebody else from that back rank are dead.
All right, easy enough.
All right, so then the second unit's going to do that, but one guy, because of how things were spaced, has to like see through, is partially obscured.
Oh, so like line of sight through other units is important.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, units typically block line of sight, but it's not totally in the way. I can draw a little bit of a line, so you're going to get cover from that. So I grabbed it.
And cover adds 1 to my armor save, or
makes it harder for me to hit you.
Gotcha.
So I grabbed a white die for that dude.
Okay.
Just to represent, he's gonna have. I can't remember if it's light or heavy cover. We'll just call it light cover for now. I'll be at further -1 to hit on that one.
Okay.
So the grays need 4s, the white needs 5.
5.
So he missed, and so did a couple others. So 2 hits again, or 2 hits this time. So I need 4s to wound now. All right, so I got 1. So now you get your armor save.
So I'm just rolling 1, and I'm looking for a 5 up.
Yep.
And I got a 1. Bless you.
Thank you.
Did
So
you
one
mute that
more
quickly?
down.
Were you that?
What?
Were you that deft and quick?
I felt it coming, so I covered my mic.
Oh,
as best I could. So 1 more planks off the back.
Mhm.
And then typically you would like assess, do you need to take a panic test?
Okay.
So that happens if you lose a quarter or more of your unit.
And I did not.
No, because you only lost 3 and you had 21.
Right.
So
what's the math on that? Okay. All right.
So I marked the chariot. The guys in the back have bows and spears, which is pretty cool. Cavalry spears, but because I marched, I can't shoot with it at all.
Gotcha.
So that's the end of my round 1.
So we're just going to go right into...
So let me just go right into round 2. So it would be your strategy phase. But again, we don't really have anything. You can see that the chieftains don't have a lot of special rules, and they pretty much all have to do with combat.
Okay.
Especially, and one thing that's really nice about Warband, not only do you add your rank bonus to your leadership, you also can reroll failed charges.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll skip the strategy phase because, well, you did it, but there's nothing to do. So combat phase. Combat, not yet. Movement phase.
Yeah.
So do you want to declare any charges?
So, and just so remind me here, so these guys are how far away?
I think I made it 12, over 11, so they're out of your charge range.
Okay. Are you sure they're out of 11? Yes. All right. So effectively for them, what can I do to prevent being charged back?
So chariots, what they're really good at is impact hits.
Yeah.
So when they charge into something, they smash into it, and the Tyrannoc chariot gets like D6 or D6 plus 1 impact hits, which is automatic hits at like strength 5.
That sounds nice.
And it goes at initiative 10. It is just D6 impact hits. At strength 5, they go at initiative 10 pretty much before anything else, typically. Okay. And they just hit the unit, which is not great for them because they can kill a few guys before they get to attack. But the chariot has to move at least 3 inches to get impact hits. It needs to build up momentum.
Gotcha.
Right?
So if I get close enough by marching, which is double moving?
Yes. So if you just march up 10, you'll be like just over an inch away from me.
Okay.
And I won't get the charge bonus, the impact hits, which makes the chariot like not good.
Right. So they'll still take the initial hit from the chariot as far as who's going to be attacking first, but it won't be anywhere near as severe because I'm not allowing the room to charge.
Yes.
Okay.
So in this case, one reason I did that was to show you that like you could just move up 10 and be very near me and get rid of that bonus for me. Before you do that though, you need to decide, is your other unit going to charge?
I doubt it.
Range?
I'm not going to roll it though.
Just to see, like, can they even? Oh yeah, for sure.
So I would need to roll. So I'm rolling 2 dice there, right? And I'd effectively need I
think you need a 5.
A 5 on one of the 2 dice.
At least, yeah, 5 or 6, because you have to wheel some to maximize what of your frontage will hit my frontage. So you'd have to wheel a little bit and then go until you hit, and then you like close the door for free.
And what's the benefit? Is there any benefit to these guys for being able to charge?
I want you to charge me.
Yeah.
With spears.
Okay.
A couple things. If I charge with spears, I lose a couple of bonus rules. Spears, you can fight in an additional rank.
Okay.
Can't do that if you charge with spears, like with this unit here as well. And a unit of spears, if charged, gets +1 initiative to represent them like bracing their spears.
So I'm not going to have any charges.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you can do then you go to your remaining moves.
Just the regular movement here.
Yep, so they can march up 10. You might have to wheel a little bit, not to clip the tree. So I'd say just move them up like 8 instead, and say you wheel just a little bit.
Okay. So 8, I was at 10.
Yeah,
right?
I can move the tape measure back a little bit, so you can go all the way.
Oh, gotcha, cool.
So that puts me about 2 inches away. just over 2 inches. So it's not 3 inches, so I wouldn't get my impact hits.
Okay.
Which makes me go, ah, nuts.
So then these guys, I'm just going to move straight forward.
So here, I will warn you about exposing your flank.
Yeah, what does that do?
So if I were to charge you from there, I'd have to roll pretty high because I'd have to wheel pretty far, but then I would hit you in your flank instead of the front, which is bad for you.
What does it do?
I get a bonus to combat resolution.
Okay.
And I have to double check exactly how it works. I might disrupt you so you don't get any rank bonus.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of, you want to be moving to keep your front towards the enemy as often as possible.
So effectively, I would move them back like an inch and then wheel kind of that amount?
So I got this handy little tool
Yeah,
here.
so what is the way to measure wheels?
So this shows your arc here. So whatever my front rank is majority in will be where I charge. So like if you were to move back an inch and wheel, like the majority of my front rank is still in your side arc.
Okay.
Which seems kind of, might seem a little weird. So if you want to like prepare to receive the charge, you want to back up a bit more and wheel more.
Okay. So yeah, so effectively because they were lined up with the thing, so I would be spending up to like 2 inches to wheel. Is that kind of?
I probably like, you back them up another 2.
Yeah, because this is something I'm not super, that I don't grasp completely is like how to measure the wheel distance.
It's kind of awkward. And there's no like official way to do it. Like,
gotcha.
Some people have made like 3D printed wheel templates.
Yeah.
But like it depends on the frontage of the unit and everything.
Okay.
So like you're gonna wheel 3 inches, we can say, well, that's about 3.
Okay.
And now I'm clearly in your front arc if I were to charge.
All right. So that should be all my movement.
As you can see, your side arc is way over here now.
Gotcha. So now I start shooting warfire cannons?
As I thanks Will Rexroll for printing this for me.
That is actually super dope.
All right, so that's it for remaining moves. So again, now you go into the shooting phase where you'd also, if you have magic missiles or magical vortexes with wizards, is when you would shoot those. So yeah, the only shooting you have are the warfire throwers. So you could just obliterate these spear elves here.
That's the hope.
Also, they have a really cool rule. I don't think it's on the sheet. It's in the weapon itself, the warfire thrower, that if you cause any wounds on the unit, I have to take a panic check.
Okay.
Actually, in this case, it doesn't matter. Oh, I just forgot about that. My character has the Pure of Heart Elven Honor, which I believe means I automatically pass panic test, but let me double check exactly how that one works. Passes any panic test that's required to make. Okay. So you can still do a bunch of damage.
Yeah.
They just won't run away.
Okay. So how do I do this? So I measure...
So pick which one you want to shoot with first.
We'll start with this one.
Okay. So you're going to take this flame template, and you can put the narrow end here up to 6 inches away within that front arc. Right? So you're shooting away.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Oh, in the front arc. So like I'd be aiming over here? Not the way I'm facing?
And within that front arc.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So and you can go up to 6 inches from the front of the model. You don't have to go the whole 6.
Because it could drift a little bit as well,
anywhere
right?
from 2 to 10 inches further.
So if we do it like here.
Yeah.
And then it goes up to 2 to 10 further. If I really overshoot it, it could hit your archers.
Probably not that far, but maybe. Another 10 inches? Maybe. The template itself is 8 inches.
Okay.
If you were curious.
Okay, yeah, so we'll go here with it. And now what are the rules as far as like, I need to cover a certain amount of stuff?
No,
or
with the
and then how do you mark that?
So I was
you mark the back of it?
A die underneath the end of the template there for you.
Sure.
Is that pretty accurate?
No, I don't, probably.
All right, so then you roll that artillery die. Some people call it the misfire die because, So now move 6 inches in that direction that you were pointing it. So we go, where's that die?
Oh, yeah, that makes it easy.
So 6 inches forward.
So here?
Cool. Now we get to do the fun overhead look to see how many models are completely covered and how many are partially covered.
Gotcha. So it looks like maybe 4 or 5 at most?
I would say only 1 is actually fully covered, but then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are partially covered.
Okay.
So you got one definite hit. So we'll just say that's a hit.
Oh,
Now,
so if it's fully covered, it's just automatically hit.
it's hit, yeah. And then the partials, you got to roll a die for each one. On a 4-up, they are hit.
Okay.
So roll 6 dice.
And what chooses that 4-up? That's because my ballistic skill is 3.
That's a template rule.
Okay.
You ask great questions. All right. Whoa. Get one more.
One more?
6 partials.
Oh, 6 partials.
Yeah. Wow, above average. Look at that. So now you have 5 hits. Now you roll the wound. The warp fire thrower, I believe, is strength 4. It's not quite as good as it used to be in that regard, but I went past it. And
so the increments on that misfire die are by 2s up to 10, and then a blow up.
Right. So you can, if you don't have an artillery die, you can just use a D6 and double the result. But if you roll a 6, that's the misfire.
Okay.
All right. So take a look at this weapon profile because mostly numbers.
All right.
So warp fire thrower, range 6 inches, but we did the whole fire thrower thing. Strength 4, AP 1.
Okay.
And then the column of fire is what we just did there. Has the cumbersome rules, so you can't stand and shoot with it as a charge reaction, and flaming attacks because it's warp fire. So because strength 4, all L's are toughness 3.
So I'm trying to roll 3s or higher to wound?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
On these?
Those 5 hits, yep.
5. Oh, because the 1 automatically happens.
Right.
Okay. So 3s and up?
That in. Yeah, you had 4 hits.
So we have 2.
Okay. So now because it's AP 1, I have light armor and shield.
So you would be looking for 5s normally, but now you're looking for just 6s?
Exactly.
All right.
You're getting this.
Yeah, all right.
It's almost like you have experience with war games. All right. So you killed 2. Normally, that would be an immediate panic test. But only because
you're pure
I
of
have
heart.
that honor,
Yes.
I do take it technically, but I pass it.
Okay.
But now I can do it again with the other one.
All right. So we're going to modify a little bit what we did last time. And instead of going so far up, I think we'll start here.
A little minimum there.
Knowing that we will roll a minimum of 2 or blow up.
So this one, I'm okay with you just like setting it down there.
Okay.
Well, it's just going to fall over. But that's okay. So we got the end there, and it's right over the musician and standard. So then you can roll the artillery. Whoa!
That'll be a 10.
So I'll help you out a little bit here. So we'll measure 10. It goes 10, so it lands here. So it'll be pretty similar. There's definitely 1 fully covered. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. No, 5 partials.
Okay.
So only 1 worse than last time.
And is there a way to be able to do rerolls and stuff for that type of thing?
Sometimes. Pretty rare to find something that would like allow you to reroll partials under a template. I can't think of anything that Skaven have.
So we'll put the 1 out there.
Yeah,
you said
you had 5 partials.
Okay.
4 up for those.
So 2 more.
2. Okay, so you got 3 total. And again, wounding on 3s. And I got a 6-up save.
1.
Okay, only 1. Wow. And
I got 2 1s though.
I did not roll it, so you killed another one.
Okay.
And just like I did to you, you killed 3 out of my unit of 21. Actually 22 because I put the character in there. So no, I don't need a panic test. Again, with the warpfire throw, that would have been an automatic panic test, even killing 1.
Yes.
Which can be a big deal.
Yeah.
In this case, my unit's still pretty big, so I would do what's called fallback in good order.
Okay.
Like I would back up, and then I would immediately rally and face the way I was.
All right.
If the unit is, I think I got to double check, it was below half or below 25, they would just flee, and they'd be running away.
Gotcha.
And I had to rally and everything. Okay, so I think that's it for that turn. So it's my turn 2. Nothing in the strategy.
It's your turn as well.
Also true.
There's only 1 round you can make that joke, so you got to take it when you can.
Fair, yeah. So I'm gonna be that guy just because I think it's funny. We're not gonna do anything in the strategy phase, of course. So declaring charges. My spears are going to declare charge against this warpfire thrower.
Okay.
So
and they
now,
will fall back.
So you get a choice.
Yeah.
You can hold.
Okay.
Which most units, like if you don't have missile weapons or anything, you can hold, you can flee, or you can stand and shoot. But the warfire cannons have a rule that says they can't
stand and shoot.
Cumbersome.
So what does fleeing do?
So you do just that. You fall back in good order.
Okay.
And then.
And what does that mean? Falling back in good order.
So I always get this mixed up. If you roll 2d6, and I can't remember if it's like a charge, you keep the higher or you add them together.
Okay.
I think you add them together because you don't like add your movement or anything like that. Let me find that. It's in the shooting phase, which is kind of interesting. Because it's when you would flee or. Okay. Fall back in good order. It is more than half.
I would like to just take a very quick moment. I wore sandals today because it's been very warm out, and I was like, they'll keep me cooler. But Dan is wearing loafers, which is both going to keep him cooler and comfier, and I think that's a great call.
I mean, they kind of are. They're Sanooks. So those shoes with the...
I can't control what he says.
They're made from like the...
Oh, like canvas. Yeah. The same stuff in the Subway bread. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're like...
That's why they smell so good.
My no-sock summer shoes. Okay, so fall back in good order. Because you're not giving ground. You chose flee. Here we go.
What is giving ground?
Wait, no, you're not fleeing. So if you give ground, it's from when you like lose a combat, but not terribly.
Okay.
And you just back up 2 inches.
Gotcha.
Just back the whole unit up 2 inches back, and then the winner of the combat can choose to follow up, or they can try to not. Okay, let me double check. I want to make sure I get this right since it's a teaching game. So when you charge,
and you're a teacher.
Why can't I find this now? Charge reactions. You want to flee. Okay. Right. So pivot the unit around its center. So it's facing directly away from the center of the charging unit, and you make a flee move. Yeah. Okay. So you will have to rally in your turn.
And what is rallying? Does that take up an action?
You have to roll a leadership test.
Okay.
It would count as moving, though, so you wouldn't be able to shoot that thing next to
Gotcha. So maybe I don't want to do that then.
But if you don't, I'm going to charge you with 20 elves and probably kill it.
So probably means there's a chance I survive.
True. I could flub a lot of rolls.
I do like you mentioning that charge is funny, because I was like, dude, I'm just going to bypass these spear guys and go right for the archers.
Yeah, now I don't.
And then you tricked me into spending 3 inches on wheeling.
So it'd be just 2d6 inches back, or you can hold and hope for the best.
Now, if effectively you fail that charge, like if let's say I roll like incredible, right? And I'm able to flee back pretty far. What happens to the elves' movement and charge and stuff like that?
Super good question, because this is where charging can be really fun. You can manipulate your opponent, which stuff I think you'd really enjoy.
Yes.
I could then potentially redirect my charge into something else and declare it against another thing.
Gotcha. So my...
So there's a lot more information before you make this choice.
So I could go back, but then I could be too far away, and then you'll just go right into my other boys anyway, which gets this significantly further out, which is not going to be shooting next round, because I'm going to have to use the move to rally.
Yes.
So that we're going to let it happen, I guess.
So a couple of things that could happen here is I charge in, almost certainly 5 plus whatever, good chance. I could fail it, but good chance I'll make it. Almost certainly will kill this thing, because it's only got 2 wounds. I don't even know if it has armor. And then I can reform, so I can turn like the face back this way. And now I'm kind of behind you.
Gotcha. And being able to reform, is that kind of something like after you wipe out a unit, you can kind of like direct yourself a little bit to follow up for the following round?
Or I could overrun, and then I could like follow up basically just to get more out of your position. So that then you got more choices, which I think is great for the game.
Okay. Yeah, I think. And so my options, once again, just to kind of reiterate this, I can flee and try to get away and then have to rally next round.
And then I can redirect my charge potentially.
And then what are my other options again?
Hold.
Which is just hanging out.
You just stay in there and hope I don't kill you.
Okay. And it's just those?
Okay, so I do have to make a leadership test to redirect, but I'm leadership 9, so good chance I'd make it.
And you would have to wheel a little bit, right, to make that charge? Because do you have to try to make it with the center model?
You have to try to maximize how many of your models get in their front, in the rank, the frontage that you're hitting, whether it's front or side or whatever. In this case, it'd be the front, so I'd have to wheel a lot.
Yeah, so we'll hang out.
Okay. In this case, I think that's the best choice just because of what else could happen. So now I'll roll So I've got 9 inches because you take the highest. I do have to wheel a tiny bit. Well, I can't go straight ahead because that wouldn't hit you. So 9 inches. So we'll see, like, if I wheel 1 and then go forward 8. I think that's going to be short. So even that little bit of a wheel has got me too far away.
That's a dope spooky forest.
Thanks.
In that it made you wheel and potentially not make it
True.
charge.
Yeah.
It also looks good.
I see what you're saying, yeah. So I got to look up exactly what happens when you fail a charge, because I can never remember. I think I just go, I can't remember if I go my movement or if I go like the dice roll.
If I recall, you roll 2d6. You lose that many people to exhaustion and depression. And then I get a fire back as Skaven breathe depression. I could be remembering that incorrectly, though.
You could be. Oh my gosh, I can't find this. The charge move. What if I fail the charge? But what if I fall off the roof?
Hopefully there's a bunch of snow and you only crinkle up.
Fail, it moves directly towards the target equal to the result of the charge roll. Oh, so it's the die roll. So I just go forward 4. So I wheeled 1.
Oh, it's the die roll, so you don't get your regular movement on it.
Which is a really bad spot.
Yeah.
So holding was the absolute right choice there, because now you could charge me in the flank if you want.
That's great.
So they're in a really bad spot.
That seems pretty good.
So technically I should have declared all the charges I had, but we had a lot to go through there.
That should have been the only charge, right? Because this gentleman can't, you said?
I can, I just won't get impact hits.
Gotcha.
Which makes me sad.
Mm-hmm.
So I could like reposition and try to save the day. Because now you're in a really good spot where you could unload with the warp fire throwers again, or charge me, because you can't. Charging happens before shooting, and you can't shoot into combat.
Gotcha.
So you got some choices again.
Okay.
I think just to show some combat here, we will charge in. I just won't get impact hits. It'll be an automatic in, because I got 9 inches plus 6 plus 2. So again, 17.
Okay.
But I can only go 2.
And you have to charge a minimum amount to get the impact hit? So that's
Yes.
the ruling? Okay.
Yeah, so impact hits need to charge at least 3 inches.
So I could flee here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I guess
Which wouldn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form.
Fleeing here would be really bad.
Yeah.
Because you're only going to go 2d6, and I'm super close. So now you know my charge is 17. So say you fled, like I would, if you flee less than that, I catch you, and you're basically dead.
So all I got to roll is a 7 on a d6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Listen, there could be a chance.
So yeah, I just was going with it because like the idea of fleeing there is just.
As far as the order of operations, though, like, do I make my choice after you roll your charge?
No, technically.
You declare the charge. I declare what I'm doing.
I declare all my charges. I should have done, and then you decide what each charged unit is going to do.
Gotcha. Okay.
So like, I love friend of the network Andy has those little charge arrows.
Yeah.
And then the other side says flee. So you can put it next to one if they chose to flee as a reaction.
As a reminder?
Yeah. And then as a reminder next to especially in a bigger game with things like they have like the chariot, their cavalry spears work differently on the charge.
Gotcha.
So remember, this unit charged, I get +1 strength to the spears.
Okay.
Things like that. Okay, so that's it for movement. So shooting. So let's see if we can plink off some more of these rats.
And this is something I'm curious about. Can you fire at targets that are engaged in combat?
No.
Okay. Oh, so that's what you're talking about with the warp throwers.
Yes.
Okay.
So like you could charge into here, but then they're not going to have anything to shoot at. You could then reposition them, hope for targets.
Oh,
later.
they will have something to shoot at.
So now you're definitely within the 15. So this unit's going to hit on 3s.
Okay.
The front one into the clan rats. So only missed 1, and then I need 4s to wound. And I got 1 armor bane. So this one there's 1 AP1 and 1 no AP. Okay,
so I'll roll a white die for the one that has armor bane.
Okay.
And I'll roll a regular die for my regular armor save.
So remember what you need on either of them?
Yeah, on the white die I'm going to need a 6 or higher.
Good.
And on the gray I'll need a 5 or higher.
Awesome.
Okay.
Nice. You roll an artillery die.
I tried to cheat.
That's why you said a white die. I thought it was just like the white die I have here.
Yep, I tried to cheat, but I rolled a 2.
So that's the equivalent of rolling a 1 on a d6. So 2 die.
Yep.
That's great. I tried to cheat. I totally forgot that was the artillery die there. So now the back unit's going to go same thing as before. -1 for the one dude with cover. But they're just all 1 better than before. So 3's on the gray, 4 on the white. And then 4 is to wound. Oh, we got another arm. So same as last time, except 1 more hit without AP.
1 more hit without AP.
So 1 hit at AP1. You want to just roll that, and then 1 more down, and then 2.
2 regulars.
So looking for 5. So that's 3 more. So that might be a panic test. We'll have to double check the math there. How many I killed the first volley?
2 more.
2. So that'll be 5 total. So that is a panic test.
2.
Uh-oh.
3.
So elves are in a really bad spot, but if you fail this panic test, that could be.
I know we don't have a dice cam on, but I'm very proud that I'm rolling as many ones as I am.
You're rolling like 10.
It's
appropriate. So now we get to see our first leadership test.
Yes.
So pick whatever 2 dice you want. What do you think you're going to roll low? You want to roll low for leadership?
Oh, I do want to roll low here.
Higher leadership is better because you want to roll equal to or under your leadership.
We're going to go with these Kuma's Corners dice.
Right? They're so cool. All right. So what's the leadership of that unit?
The leadership of that unit, if I had to put a number to it, would be 4.
Okay, so a basic clan round is 4. You do have a claw leader. I gave you full command. Claw champion, standard musician.
Okay.
Claw leader is the champion, so it would be 5. But you have a chieftain in the unit, so it's 6. But you have warband, so you get to add your rank bonus. You are regular infantry, so you need to be 5 models wide to get a rank bonus.
Okay.
So unfortunately, right now you only have 1 rank.
1
bonus.
rank. Okay.
The first rank doesn't. You need
the fighting rank doesn't count.
Yes.
Okay.
So your leadership is 7.
So I need to roll under a 7 on both dice or on each one?
Equal to or under.
Okay.
When you add them together.
Watch this. 8.
That's when you roll high. So you just barely miss it. So now they flee.
Okay.
So they panic.
So I'm going to roll 2d6 here, and that's how far I'm going to flee. Would it be? Is it the same kind of thing as? Okay.
It's the same mechanic there. They flee from the center of the unit that caused the panic check, which would be this unit of archers. These guys are doing work. So that makes them a little safer, maybe. So roll your 2d6.
6.
Now you roll under 7, of course. So now they're going to flee directly away from my unit along. So you go center to center along this line.
And they stay in that same orientation as well?
No. So they turn around. So we'll keep that center.
Oh, they actually. Oh.
So the whole unit will actually spin around and then go 6 inches along this line. So 6 inches is there. And luckily, is that it? If this unit was a little more over here, they would have fled more this way. Any portion of the unit at all overlaps the table edge, the whole unit's gone. They fled off the field.
Yo, all right.
So they actually were very close to running off the table, which I did not expect.
Yeah.
So now they're fleeing. So we got something to do in the strategy phase on your next turn.
And that would be rallying.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so that's it for shooting. My only other shooting is in combat, so they can't do it. So now we have our first combat. So keep it. This one's a little simple. There aren't characters or anything. So this is when before combat starts, before you start going down the initiative, you can declare a challenge.
Okay.
I love challenges. Super cool.
So what is a challenge?
Characters or unit champions can declare a challenge, and then like it's my turn, so I would be able to declare a challenge first. Okay. And then you could decide to accept or decline with a certain character, with a certain model. Again, characters or unit champions can do this. Yeah. Skaven have this dope rule, Verminous Valor, where if a Skaven character with that rule declines a challenge, they go to the back of the unit, but they break the rules of challenges where normally if a character does that, they're like, boo, hiss, you're a win, you're a coward. Right. Skaven society, they're seen as the smart thing to do. Yeah. So you still get the character's leadership for the unit. Gotcha. Which is great. But I don't have any characters in this chariot, so I can't declare or accept the challenge.
Okay.
It's just like a normal model.
So I will be challenging here. I don't know what the rules are or what it does, but it seems dope.
Right. So if we get a combat with either of those units with that one, we could do that. But
characters
I don't have
can
any
only
character or champion in that unit.
So you're unchallengeable.
Correct.
Okay.
So my attacks I can kind of decide where they go, either into the unit. I can declare attack. So when you're attacking, you can declare attacks against models you're in base contact with.
Okay.
So in this case, the chariot is 50 millimeters wide. So technically, I'm in base contact with the character in the corner, your musician, your standard, and your champion.
Okay.
Now, musicians and standards, if they die, someone else just picks it up.
Yeah.
And becomes it, right? They're the last models to die are your command models.
I did a bunch of marching band, and I did know from that if, say, a sousaphone player gets shot, the clarinet player behind them picks up the sousaphone and then is now the sousaphone player.
Exactly. Except for the champion. I can declare attacks onto the champion separately. If he dies, he's just gone. You remove the champion model and replace it with a standard model.
Okay.
One thing I love about Old World is whatever models die can't attack back unless they have some kind of special rule that allows
I get an attack back here?
Potentially.
Okay.
Without impact hits, there's a decent... Well, your character will. I almost certainly won't kill him. And that's your general. So I'm not going to target him just to be a little nice. So
effectively, anything that's in that fighting rank that's still alive after your attacks is going to be able to swing back?
Yes.
That's super cool.
Yeah, it is. I like it a lot. So I'm going to just put all my attacks into the unit to keep it simple here. So I have 2 elves on the back of the chariot. They are weapon skill 4. So what is the weapon skill of your clan rats?
They are weapon skill 7.
Liar.
3.
Okay. Like you're kind of used to with things like when we play Soulbound on YouTube, if my weapon skill is higher than yours, I need 3s. If my weapon skill is double plus 1, then it's 2s. Okay. It's very difficult to get 2s to hit.
Yeah.
There are some magic
That's probably for the best.
Yeah. It's to make characters not too crazy powerful.
Yeah.
Like weapon skill 9 is like a really nice place to be because then you're hitting like elite infantry typically has like weapon skill 4.
Yeah.
So then if you're hitting them on 2s, but that's like demon princes. All right, so 2
which are princes of demons. That's something I remembered.
Oh, and I know my elves go first because I charge 2 inches, so the whole unit gets +2 to its initiative.
Okay.
And then elves also get +1 initiative in the first round of combat.
So you're at a +3.
Yeah. What is the leadership? What is the initiative of your chieftain?
Of my chieftain is a 6.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be higher, but I will double check just because.
I would imagine so, but I just was curious how it worked.
So actually, barely. Because the elves are initiative 4, as are the horses. So +2 for the charge.
Okay.
Makes them initiative 6 because I was more than 2 inches away.
Yep.
But not 3. And they have the Elven Reflexes rule. Just the first round of combat, whether they're charged or charged, they get +1 on top of that. So they're initiative 7.
Okay.
So he's actually going to go the same time as the horses. And then the rest of your unit will go because they're initiative.
Listen, I've been saying it for years. Rats, horses, same thing.
All right. So elves first hitting your unit on 3s. So I missed both. Great.
Dope.
So real quick, I'm going to roll my horses because this is the same time as your chieftain. So like if I was directing attacks on him, they would go at the same time. Okay. But I'm just putting it into the unit, just trying to kill some rats.
Sounds good.
So the horses are only weapon skill 3. So now I hit on 4s because we're the same.
Okay.
And I still miss 1. So we get 1. And the horse is strength 3. And your rats are toughness
3.
Yep. So 4 again. And that's a 1. So I do 0 damage.
Okay.
Real bad.
Yeah.
So now your chieftain goes first. He has to go separately anyway because he has different rules.
And he has a higher initiative, so he would be happening first here, right?
Yes. So his initiative 6.
So I'm rolling 3 attacks because my attack is 3.
Yep. You got 3 dice there. Or yeah, you get 3 attacks.
And my weapon skill is 5.
Yep. So
I am wounding, or I am hitting on what?
3s.
3s.
You go against. So in this case, the like different profile. It's called split profile. You roll against the highest.
Okay.
And which is 4.
So I am looking for, you said 3s here, right? Or
yes.
4s. Okay.
3s.
So we got them all.
Nice. You hit all of them. Perfect. So then you pick those up again and you roll the wound. So you got to see what is your guy's strength or 3 different dice. Yeah, I do that a lot too.
It's something I learned from you and a couple other local players. It's like, well, those already either rolled good or bad. They might not do it again, so I'll go with other ones. So my strength is 4.
All right, so then in this case, you roll against the toughness of the chariot itself.
Okay.
Which is only 4 because it's a little elf chariot.
So I'm looking for 4s.
Right, good.
Okay.
You got it.
And we'll have all 3.
Nice. Okay. So what's cool is I thought about giving him additional hand weapon because that's what the model has.
Yeah.
But your chieftains have this warpstone weapon rule, which is kind of the typical thing we see in a lot of armies, where I just marked it in this. Warpstone weapons says if you're just carrying a hand weapon, even if you had an additional hand weapon, you would lose this rule. You have an armor piercing of 1.
So that's 3 wounds at AP 1?
Yeah.
That seems like it's probably pretty good.
It's really good. My chariot normally has an armor value of 5.
Okay.
So I'm rolling on 6s now instead. Luckily, the chariot has 4 wounds, but you got a bunch of rat attacks back. So I didn't make any. So I take 3 damage.
And now
I did forget one thing that might change things a little bit.
You didn't forget about Dre, did you?
Just triple checking it has 4 wounds. It does. Just want to make sure they didn't change that from previous editions. So I got some fun little wound tokens. If I can pick them up.
And with how this works, because you have 2 elves on there, you have 2 horses. The chariot itself has 4 wounds?
Yeah, so like that basically represents the 4 things.
Okay.
So it's just, once you do 4 wounds, the whole model's gone. You don't like kill a horse and then an elf or simplifies it a little bit.
Yeah.
I did forget all your guys with spears are +1 initiative. I don't think it mattered in this case because I charged them.
Yes.
Because my horses were still 6 and they're 5 with that. So
those clan rats would be 5 with the +1, which means they would be tied, but it doesn't end up mattering effectively?
Not tied. They would still be at 5.
Oh, because you had the +1 initiative from the other thing.
Yeah, so the elves were 7 and the horses were 6. So that we still did it in the right order. I just forgot to bring that up. So even at initiative 5, they're still going last. So now you get the other benefit of spears, which is fight an additional rank.
Oh, so I'm getting like 9 characters worth of attacks here?
9 models worth, but you have that claw leader, the champion, actually has 2 attacks. So you still get 10 attacks, even though this guy's taking up the space of 1.
Okay.
Yeah, I should not have made this charge, but it's a learning game, right? I want you to see this stuff.
Fair.
So you have 10 attacks.
I've run out of gray dice. I can use the...
No.
Okay.
I'll give you another gray die. Is that all you need?
Yep.
Okay, so now you are weapon skill.
3.
My weapon skill is 4.
So I am hitting on 5s.
4s.
4s.
This is where it gets a little tricky.
Okay. And why is that?
It's the double +1 thing again.
Okay.
Hitting on 5s is not very common. You're going to hit on 4s most of the time, sometimes on 3s.
Okay. So I'm looking for 4s.
Wow.
I missed 1.
Wow, you got 9 out of 10 hits? Okay, so now you're strength 3, because spears give you more attacks, not higher strength.
Okay.
My toughness is 4.
Okay, so now I'm wounding on 4s.
5s.
4. Yeah, that's what I said.
Now it's just, with strength versus toughness, a little simpler. It's just, is my toughness higher than yours? Yes, you need 5s. Is my toughness 2 higher than your strength? Then you need 6s. And if it's like, I think if it's 4 higher, then it's impossible. You just can't hurt me.
So really, I'm looking for a single 5.
Well, I still have my armor, so you want more than 1.
Oh, okay.
I only have a 5 up though, so 1
Gotcha.
is a pretty good chance. But you should get like 6 or 7 here at least.
5.
5. Wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna pick all those up. I have to roll them all 5s or 6s for the chariot to survive.
Easy peasy.
Shaboom! I got 3. Actually, that was a really good roll.
Yeah.
But not good enough. So the chariot is just destroyed.
Okay.
So now, if there were anything within like 6 inches, I would need a panic test. Actually, no, because that's a light chariot. It wouldn't. Never mind. So something is destroyed that can trigger panic tests in units.
In other units,
as they see their allies die.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. There's potential for like escalation of that to like spread.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen very often. So now I'm going to double check. I'm pretty sure you can overrun if you wish, or you can test to restrain. If a unit completely destroys its enemy before the break test, it may attempt to restrain and reform, or may overrun. A unit that overruns makes a normal pursuit move, but must move directly forwards without pivoting. So just so you know, if you run directly forwards here and you touch the table edge, you're not dead.
Okay.
Because you're chasing. You're not running away.
Okay.
You disappear from the table. On your next turn, they show back up on the table edge. They just can't charge.
Okay.
Or you can make a leadership test to restrain and reform and turn whichever way.
Okay, so let's try the leadership test. Sounds like that might be the right call here.
Okay, in this case, you're in a way better position than the other unit because you have 1, 2, 3 ranks. Normally, you can only have 2 because you're light infantry, but because you're horde, you can count an additional rank.
Okay, so
and that's a clan rat rule. Horde. And they also have warband.
Okay, so their leadership is 4, but they have the chieftains in the other group.
You got a chieftain here, too.
I have a chieftain there. Okay, so I have to roll under a 10 on 2 dice?
9.
Under a 9.
Yeah, because you got 3 ranks.
Why is it 3? Oh, because the fighting rank doesn't count.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're rolling a 9 or lower here.
Okay, so that's a 5.
Okay, so now you can reform now, which just means the center of your unit has to stay where it is, but you can turn to face whatever way, and you could change like your ranks and files if you wanted to. Not really a reason to here.
So how would you determine the middle one? Just effectively both of those need to be in the same position?
More or less, yeah. But they can change their facing. You're like right up against the forest, so.
So can I go like, I'd effectively have to turn all the way around, right? For them to be in the same.
Or like you could turn like this and be partially in the forest. Typically, most people are fine with you like doing your best to keep your center where it is.
Okay.
Because when you're dealing with in this case, it's a mostly square, right?
Right.
Or it's not even a square because it's definitely a rectangle.
It's really a comic book chat bubble because it's the square with the little tail to say who's this coming from.
Yeah. So which way do you want them to face?
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like I'm going to end up going around, but I might need to help out these guys. So
yeah,
I think that is probably.
Because that'll slow you down a little bit, but Skaven are pretty quick. Movement 5 is above average. Average movement is 4.
Okay.
Like a human.
So I'll be taking a -1 hit, so I'll just be like a regular mover next turn. Okay. So we'll do that.
Cool. All right. So first unit dead, and that was end of round 2.
It was.
So top of round 3.
Mm-hmm.
So strategy phase. We'll skip the last thing you do in the strategy phase is rally.
Okay.
Which you can do now. So, warband, I'm pretty sure you can't count your extra ranks if you're fleeing. So it's going to make it more difficult to rally.
Okay.
But let me just double check that.
Absolutely.
So it's a difference of 6 or 7, effectively. Yes, unless it's fleeing. It's the first clause. So you're testing leadership 6 here because that's your best in the unit with the chieftain. Okay,
so one surprise that you might know, or you might not know that I know, is that your mic is not. If you want to hit the bottom thing
really?
again.
I thought I saw the blue before.
You might have just been muted. Hit it just once. Yeah, it was just muted.
Turn it back on.
Okay.
All right. Well, hopefully that's not too bad because I've been trying to talk loudly.
Thankfully, we've been right next to each other for a lot of it. So.
Okay. Whoops. Well, hopefully you can hear me better now for a teaching video. Okay. So now you're gonna roll 6 or less on 2d6.
6 or less on 2d6. Easy peasy. That's a 9.
Yep. So now they continue fleeing. Roll another 2d6. Add it together. That's how far they flee, just in the direction they're going. So, oof, that's probably off the table.
Hey, we're keeping parity. Like, that's pretty good,
I lost a unit, you lose a unit.
Yeah.
No big deal. Luckily, that's not your general.
11 in the way that they were already going will definitely have them clip this edge, I would assume.
Yeah, so if we just push them forward here, just lift it up a bit, they're off the table.
Okay.
That fence is the battlefield edge. So sadly, you lose that whole unit of clan rats and the chieftain.
All right, so panic tests are serious business.
They really can be, yeah.
All right.
Cool. I feel like I shouldn't have taken that honor on that guy. I didn't realize it would be that good. I forgot that I gave you warp fire throwers.
Listen, it happens.
Well, luckily you got a couple warp fire throwers to make up for it, but you do have movement first. So you could try to charge here to hit me in the flank.
Mm-hmm.
You might. Okay, so what's nice here is that I have
a smaller thing here. I can make way with the character. He can jump over here, or you could just challenge him anyway. I think I got to double check. I think elves have a rule that allow me to do more attacks in the flank. That might be, what am I thinking of there?
So I'm going to go ahead and give you
Prowess.
a spoiler here. I'm not going to be charging.
Okay.
I am just going to be moving.
I'm still going to double check that rule just because I'm almost there.
So that would be just moving them up 5, right?
Up to 5, yeah.
Up to 5.
I mean, you could still charge. You could still march. Again, you could try to get really close. If you're within 8, you got to make a test to charge. It's called enemy spotted. You have to roll a leadership test. If you fail it, you can't march.
Okay.
So a lot of times people will roll before they even decide, like, if I roll too high, then I can't anyway.
Because it doesn't like prevent you from moving. It just says you can't
march.
Charge. So we'll do that. And so my leadership test here, I have 3 ranks plus the 6. So I'm looking under a 9?
Yes. 9 or under.
Okay. I've rolled an 8.
So you're good. So now you could march if you want to.
Okay.
Because remember, they're movement 4 right now because you're touching the difficult terrain.
Okay. So march is just a double move, or I roll to see the extra move?
Double move. So they could march up to 8 inches.
Okay. So yeah,
but you have to stay an inch away from me if you don't charge.
Yep. So we will do just that. So we're going to go the 5. And then this is the thing I'm still not super great on, is the wheeling.
Okay.
But I would effectively like to keep going. And I have to stay outside of 1 inch.
You have to stay at least an inch away from me.
Because like if I were to wield, effectively what I would like to do is to have you have to charge me instead of my warp fire cannon.
Yeah, with that much movement, that would be difficult.
Okay. But I could get us probably somewhat closer.
Yeah. Because I don't really want to charge this unit, especially when I'm probably going to take a beating from these warp fire throwers in a second anyway.
So I could probably get to like here, but not fully in front of them. Is that within the realm of realistic?
Yeah, well, I don't think you'd be that far over because you have to pivot on that front corner.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah.
Right, so you can't like slide over with a wheel.
That's going to be a difficult thing for me, I think.
For sure.
Is getting the wheel stuff right.
Wheeling it's absolutely necessary for the game, but it certainly has a learning curve.
Okay.
It's just figuring out how to hold it in one place while moving.
Yeah.
Because it's a pivot.
So that'll be our move.
Cool.
And then we'll go at some warp fire stuff.
All right.
So
let's have one blow up. I'm going to turn to the black powder misfire chart.
It has to be within
just in case
6, right? You said.
Yep.
So if I go here with it, is what we're going to shoot for.
Try to hit some archers because they don't have that pure of heart. So if you kill even one, the unit will have to make a panic test.
So we'll do that, I think. And thankfully there's no units that's under, so we don't have to mark it. And then I'll roll this die, and effectively as long as I don't roll a 2 or blowing up, I should be able to get some in both of those units.
Yeah, pretty good chance.
So all I got to do is not roll a 2 or an MCP critical. Roll a 10.
That seems bad for me.
I think that's going to be good for you, isn't it? Because I measure from the front.
Either way, like if you measure from the back, you just measure back to back. If you measure from the front, you measure front to front.
Okay.
Right? It goes 10 inches.
So that should be great.
Yeah, so if we go 10, it'll land about here, which is not great. So this unit, well, let's just say has 2 full, and this one has, well, you can't. Yeah, 1 partial. 2 full, 1 full, 1 partial.
Okay.
So which one do you want to do first?
We'll do the 2 fulls.
Okay. So 3's to wound, no armor.
Okay.
Because you're -1 and you only have light armor, if that.
So 1.
1 dies. That's an immediate panic. Actually, let's get rid of the one that's been blocking line of sight.
And the other one, I'm going to roll to hit first for the partial. Oh, yeah.
So immediate panic.
Gotcha.
So they're going to, well, roll that one real quick. So roll the part, you're going to roll the partial, you said?
Yeah, we'll roll the partial first, right? Because then I can roll both wounds together.
Yes. So 4 up, hits. Uh-oh, that's 2 again. So 3's to kill. And you killed 2, so they definitely need to panic as well. So we'll do this unit first. I believe the archers are leadership 8. But again, I'll double check just to make sure. I don't think any elves are 7.
Now, with
Yeah, they're
ranged
8.
units like archers, does that count as a fighting rank?
Yeah, that is their fighting rank.
So regardless of whether they're melee, they're chargers, they're chariots, the first rank is always the fighting rank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you were to hit me in the side, that the rank that's contact with you becomes the fighting rank.
Got it.
Okay, so they're leadership 8. I don't have any penalties or anything like that, so just straight up, they are good. And then the unit that's got 3 left, same thing. They are just barely good with a 7.
Okay.
Great shot. I did not expect them to get hit, but that's also 3 fewer bows coming at you.
So then we'll effectively within 6. So we're just gonna.
Just not really at all.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So we'll roll this. What's this die called again?
Artillery die.
That's where that's exactly what I wanted.
Pretty ideal. I can't believe you rolled that 6 times and have not rolled a misfire yet. I'm shocked.
Listen, it's because it looks like an MCP crit die. I won't be rolling it.
It is the same symbol, isn't it? Boop, 2 inches. Oh, this is gonna hurt.
Oop, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Make it easier. Where are you going with this? Silly.
I don't have. Well, I was measuring it. I moved it over because I was trying to.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oof, that is a lot. So that's going to be 4 total, and then 8 partials.
Okay.
So 4 hit, 8 partials. This could really peel this unit away.
So we'll do the 8 partials. If I could have one more die.
And these are the 4 already hit.
And I need 3s.
4s for partials.
4s to partials. Oh, it'll be 3 to wound.
Yes.
Okay.
This is effectively your to hit roll. Really good again. Wow.
So we missed 3 out of the 8. Yeah,
over
above average.
Okay, so I'll take these away for you, and then you got that many wounds. So that's any of those are 3 up. I have a 6 up save against.
Okay. A lot of 2s and 1s, but it looks like we got
still 4. That's still good.
And these are AP ones, so you're rolling 6s.
Yeah, because they have light armor and shield. I didn't.
Hey,
I made 1, so
1, yeah.
3. So you've killed 6 elves this turn with shooting. That's pretty good.
It seems like it's okay.
It's a lot of centuries of experience you just burned up.
That is like burning multiple libraries.
From your probably 5-year-old Skaven or something.
Yeah, well, they're 4.5, but yeah.
Okay, whew. That hurt. But elves are not in a terrible spot because you still have... You lost that unit. Yep. Was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it because you didn't charge in. So my turn 3. I have nothing in the strategy phase either. No rallying. Kind of surprisingly, both those archer units passed. But we are going to try to charge that. I don't want to be right next to you is the thing. Can I charge that further one? That would be a heck of a wheel, is the only problem. No, because I'm in your side flank and this is in the way, so I can't charge that one. But we are going to try to charge that.
Okay.
So then that if you flee, I could make a leadership test to try to redirect into them, which again, not super ideal. We'd have to discuss if you're enough in the forest or not to be disrupted, because that would make a big difference. But this time, let's see, how far away am I? So if you choose to flee, I am 6 inches away. My movement's 5, so you got a pretty good chance of getting away.
We are not going to flee.
Okay. A little surprised, but makes sense.
I mean, it's right there.
Just popped right back open. That was weird. Okay, so their charge is 5 plus 5 is 10, which is plenty. So then we go charge. Getting caught on your hand weapon.
Happens to the best of us.
So then I hit you and align to your frontage. But then I gotta just kind of scoopy doop over a little bit to try to stay out of an inch from you best I can.
I believe in you.
All right. So now shooting. Usually my brain likes to skip right to the combat that they're in, but that's not how it works. So we are going to remember.
It can be if you would like to skip your shooting phase.
We're going to shoot. Kind of luckily for you, because that, well, that might be closer. So,
oh, my big unit?
Oh, yeah, this warp fire thrower is all by himself. I can absolutely shoot him. His parent unit's gone. I'll be at -1, obviously, but we're just gonna go for that guy. So the unit of 4 archers will go first. They need 4s because it's over half. Nice.
All
right.
3? Yeah.
I got 3 out of 4. All right. So what's your weapon team crew toughness?
It's 3.
3. Okay. So 4s to wound here, and we did. Our only success was an armor bane. I think the crew, weapon team, it says right here, hand weapon. They do have light armor. So they take 1 wound because AP1 from armor bane.
Gotcha.
Gets through that. They're not dead yet because they do have 2 wounds, right?
Yep.
That's how you say that and then look. So put a little wound token here just in case these other 3 guys don't finish the job. Same thing, they need 4s. No cover anymore. Wow, all 3, okay. Yeah. 1 more 6 and it's dead. But 4s and 5s, good chance it's dead. Oh, 1 success. I got 1 5 here, so you get your 6 up light armor save because it was an armor bane.
Gotcha.
All right.
So they
killed
are
it.
Gone.
Yeah, that thing did work though.
Yeah, the fact that you can be up to 10 further inches away, like effectively your active range is like 16 inches there.
Even more, really, because it can be 6 inches up.
Yeah.
And then 8 for the template is already I can't math right now.
Yeah.
14 inches.
It's more than 10.
Potentially up to 24.
That's
crazy.
Pretty rad.
Okay. So I just want to double check character. I want to see if my character can make that attack to kill the other warp fire thrower. Moving through the ranks. Yes. Okay. So when it's the character's turn, high elf nobles and princes, which is what this guy's a noble, have strikes first.
So they can do the queen rook exchange.
Because it's a noble?
Just swapping the pieces where they are.
Oh, yeah. So I just want to attack with him because he's cooler.
Yeah.
So he's very
pure of heart too.
He is pure of heart. That's right. So he's very similar to your chieftains. Just got to double check the loadout I gave him. I think he just has a hand weapon. But again, let's get this right. He has just a hand weapon. Oh, I forgot about his bow of Avalorn. He could have been shooting this time. When they were charging, so
gotcha.
Couldn't. But let's see.
But he could have last phase.
3 attacks. Yes, he's got 3 attacks. He just has a hand weapon, but he has Ithilmar weapons. Kind of like your Warpstone weapons, except L's are the one that does it differently. He gets to reroll 1s to hit.
Oh, dope.
No AP. And his weapon skill is 6.
Okay.
So I'm still only hitting you on 3s. Even though your weapon skill is 3. Yeah, I always miss 1. And then he's got, oh no, I get the reroll. Was it? No, that was a 2. I don't get to reroll that.
Correct.
And then he's strength 4 because he's a leader elf.
And their strength is toughness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is 3.
Yep. So 3s to wound you. So both wound. But I don't have any AP because I just get that reroll 1 that I missed.
So I have 2 6s here.
No, I missed.
Right?
Yes, because you have light armor. If you feel, you need to make both. Okay, so they're dead.
All right.
So I'm going to test to restrain and reform. And they make it. So again, I try to keep my center in the same spot as best as possible, and then reform the unit, reform the line. So I'm going to reform. So if you charge me, it's in the front, and then we can have like a proper combat.
Okay. So round 4 or turn 4?
Top of 4, yep.
Oh.
So we're playing the I forget what they call it, the basic pitched battle one that has a random game length. So at the end of turn 5, you roll to see if it ends.
Gotcha.
But this combat will what's nice about the way the game works now is that it's not just one combat and you're done, typically. Okay.
I'm going to be too far away to charge, I'm assuming. Or no, I can charge. Oh, it was the impact hits thing I was thinking.
Yeah. You're absolutely within range. You're not going to get much. I'm going to go first, probably, because you don't get the initiative bonus for your spears because you're charging.
Okay.
You do get initiative bonus for every inch that you charge. With the wheel, it looks like you'll get the full 3 because you up to 3.
Gotcha. So we'll do that.
So you might go first, other than my noble, because he has strikes first.
So I'm rolling 2 here. I know this is a very short distance, but just so I know
it's good to just keep in the practice.
So I'm going to roll 2.
Take the higher.
Take the higher, which is the 4. So now I would have 9 inches of movement.
You normally, yes, but because you're in the woods,
8.
you're at that -1.
Okay.
Yeah, which is plenty.
So that's probably, would you say, like, I'm just trying to guesstimate here, that's probably a 2-inch wheel? Or
so again, you
wheel?
need to, so the whole where it gets finicky here is that, like, you can't just move forward to hit me and then align, because
I'd have to wheel first.
You have to wheel to maximize how much you hit in the front, right? So with 8 inches, I'm not concerned about you wheeling too much by any means. So, like, I would say, like, a healthy 5-inch wheel would get you, even that was only like 4 inches even, would get us basically line straight up, and you have 2 inches to go.
Okay.
But you moved over 3 inches. You moved at least 3 inches, so you get the maximum +3 initiative.
Gotcha. So that's what it caps out at.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't get like +8.
So then my, just once again, just so I'm talking this out. So then my initiative for my chieftain would be 9. For everything else, or they get to use that chieftain's initiative.
No, the initiative is by model, by like unit type there. So
my chieftain would be 9, and then everything else would be 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we do any initiative stuff, you'd made the charge. It's your turn. You can declare a challenge if you wish, either with your chieftain or with your champion.
Yeah, we'll challenge your dude with my chieftain.
All right. For fun's sake, I will accept with the noble. So then what I'm going to do is just
like set them to the side, kind of.
Yeah, they actually used to have a rule that it was like the rest. So the idea, obviously, you're not going to do this. The idea is that the rest of the units are kind of like in a semicircle around the two.
Like a nice old pit fight,
which is cool. And like technically, we don't need to move the models around like that. It just looks cooler when you got them facing off. And then they can attack each other.
Okay.
At their normal initiative. I cannot attack your chieftain with anybody else. You cannot attack my noble with anybody else.
Oh,
They're
okay.
Off limits.
Nice.
Even Skaven have enough honor for that.
Okay.
Right. In this case, I'm at a little bit of an advantage, a couple of advantages.
Because you'll be attacking the challenge first, right?
Yes, because he has strikes first, so he's initiative 10.
Nice.
And then Elven Reflexes, I guess technically he's initiative 11.
I believe it.
And then with Ithilmar weapons, I do get to reroll any 1s to hit you. Mm-hmm. Your weapon skill 6, right?
No, it's 5.
5. I am weapon skill 6. Which again, I have another pretty big advantage there. So I'm hitting on 3s, rerolling 1s to hit.
Okay.
Wow, okay. How about 2 1s? Can I roll them in the hits? I rolled 1 into a hit. Because you have 2 wounds, I have a chance to kill you.
All right.
Strength 4 in the noble. You are toughness
4.
Right, so they're pretty similar. Yours are a lot cheaper though. So I need 4s to wound. I did get both.
Okay.
I have no AP though. Unfortunately, you can't, without buying magic stuff, you can't get more than heavy armor.
Okay.
On him, and I didn't give him a shield because points. So he just has a 5-up save.
A 5-up? So I just need 1 5-up and I live, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got it. I'll do that.
All right, so he's got 1 wound on him. And now, I think just by chance, he's going to be next in initiative.
I believe so.
My elves are 6 because of Elven Reflexes and getting charged with spears.
So now, effectively, the rest of my stuff is going to go.
Yeah, so you're still high. Even your clan rats are still higher than me because of that
charge.
The big wheel for the charge gave them enough.
Okay.
But yeah, so your chieftain goes next.
My chieftain has 3 attacks, and he's weapon skill 5. Your weapon skill 6. So that means I should be rolling 4s.
4s, yeah.
4s. We'll get 1.
Ooh. That's unfortunate. He doesn't have a reroll there.
And then this would be strength to toughness. So am I looking for 4s again?
No, because my toughness is only 3.
So I'm looking for a 3 here.
Even an Elven Prince is still only toughness 3.
We didn't get it.
That was unfortunate.
There's all my wands.
You're right. Typical, right?
But now I can fight with the first 2 ranks. No, because I don't get that on the charge.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, spears only get the 2nd rank when they are charged or like subsequent rounds of combat.
So I'm going to be getting 4 attacks here because the chieftain's already gone.
5 because the champion.
The champion gets an extra attack. And for this, I'm looking for, my weapon skill is 3, yours is
4.
4, so I'm looking for 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I missed 2.
Okay, not bad.
I got a full house there, 2 3s, 3 5s. And now I'm looking to wound, so my strength is 3, yours toughness is 4. 3. So I'm looking for 4s.
If they're an elf on foot, it's always 3.
And I'll get 2.
Okay, good. You don't have any AP on a basic thrusting spear, these are called. What's cool is that they're throwing spears infantry can take, which do what you just said. They get the extra rank on the charge because they charge up. It's like really short range spears.
Okay, dope.
Not a lot of units have those. They're pretty rare. Okay, so they have light armor shields. So I got 5 up here. And that's not flat. Okay, you killed 2.
Okay.
So what Taylor and I have always done, especially for battle reports, is just not flat re-roll it, so there's no argument.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, now I lost 2 elves in the front rank. They can't attack. So the rest of my front rank is the champion and 1 dude, but then I do have the whole 2nd rank can attack.
Okay.
So I got 8 attacks, or whatever it was I just picked up.
Mm-hmm.
My weapon skill is 4, though, so I'm hitting you on 3s.
Okay.
I'm a little bit better there. But that was a horrible roll. Wow. Oof. I might lose this combat. And then I'm strength 3. Toughness is 3.
Yep.
So I need
7s.
4s. Those are the same.
That was close.
All right, I got 4 there. No armor bane or anything like that. So just 3 regular saves.
Okay. So my 3 regular saves, because I have shields and light armor, I'm looking for 5.
Yep. Same as mine.
We'll get one of them.
All right, and I killed 2. So pull 2. So what I like to do is just put them to the side to help us count. Because now we do combat resolution.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite parts. You'll like it because it's just numbers.
I do like numbers.
All right, you charge, so we'll count yours first. So you did 2 wounds.
Mm-hmm.
So like, take those models, 2 wounds.
Okay.
You have a standard bearer.
So that's another one.
That counts 1 combat resolution.
Okay.
I killed just enough that you lost this 3rd rank, but you have 2 ranks for combat.
Okay.
All right, I did 3 wounds because I killed 2 rats and did 1 wound on your dude. So 1, 2, 3. I have a standard.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 1 rank. Because again, you killed just enough.
Okay.
Because they're light infantry, heavy infantry only need 4, but that's like Saurus and Chaos Warriors.
Gotcha.
So this is actually a tie. We both have 5.
Mm-hmm.
We both have a musician. If you have a musician and you tie, and your opponent doesn't,
you win.
The musician wins the tie, breaks the tie. But we both have a musician. So yeah, we just tie.
Okay.
Interesting.
What would happen if one of us lost here?
So say I killed 1 fewer rat, I would lose by 1 and make a leadership test at -1.
Okay.
And then depending on how badly I fail it, I would either give ground or fall back in good order.
Okay.
If you double outnumber the opponent, if they fail at all, they need double 1s to not flee. And then they can get run down and dead. Okay. Okay, so that was a draw, which is funny because I feel like that doesn't happen very much.
Shout out to Rob Reale.
All right, so that was your turn. So my top of turn 4.
Mm-hmm.
I can't shoot your unit. So I will just spend my movement phase moving up closer just in case we break apart. I can get better shots.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to move up. We're going to move up 9 and then pivot an inch-ish. And then these guys will wheel.
As they say, give them an inch-ish. They think they're a ruler-ish.
We'll go like 2-ish and then up another 8. So just about there. And that's all they're going to do because they can't shoot you this turn. And then we actually go right back to combat.
Okay.
There's nothing because we're down to so little. So we go right back to that challenge. The challenge continues. until one is dead.
Okay.
So again, with that strikes first, I got a good chance of killing you before this challenge is over.
So I can't deny this challenge because I've already challenged.
Not anymore.
We are already engaged in challenge.
Once you accept the challenge, you're there until one of them is dead.
Okay.
So we are gonna go 3 dice here, 3 attacks,
Rerolling
needing
ones.
3s, rerolling ones. Okay, 2 hits. So we're wounding on 4s. You got 1, which is enough. You have your 5-up heavy armor save. I should have given you a shield. I apologize. Oh, we got him. So he dies. He counts as 1 combat resolution point because he had 1 wound left. So we'll just put that there with him.
Okay.
Now, initiative.
Should we have been counting the wounds that we did to each other in the combat resolution to the champions that didn't die?
From the challenge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I counted that.
Okay.
I think I did. Yeah, because I said 2. I had the 2 rats and I put 1 die for the challenge.
Okay.
I did 1 wounded. There's a cool thing called overkill, where like
because I didn't do any wounds.
right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got
Okay.
lucky there.
Yep.
Or like say my chariot. Say I have a character on a chariot and goes in.
Yeah.
And you declare a challenge, and then accept it with the chariot. All the impact hits go on the character.
Ooh.
But there's an overkill rule where you can get up to 5 more points than they have wounds for just smashing that guy into the ground and demoralizing the unit around him.
Hell yeah.
It's really great. So it's like, oh, well, your elf prince on a dragon. I challenged with my unit champion. It's like, well, I'm going to get 6 combat resolution points probably. So it's not that bad.
So now with that challenge now over, because my chieftain is dead, can my things hit your noble?
No.
Okay.
Not this round.
Not this round.
The-
but in
the
the
challenge-
future they can.
No matter what, the challenge goes until at least the end of that round of combat.
Okay.
But you do lose an attack from that spot.
Yes.
But now my elves are initiative 4. And what are yours?
4s.
Also 4. So the rest of these attacks actually go at the same time.
Okay, so how does that work?
I don't have elven reflexes because it's not the first round. And neither of us get a bonus for spears because neither of us were charged this round.
Right.
So we just go at the same time.
Okay.
So how many attacks do you have?
I have 5 because I have 4 rats, but 1 is the champion, so it gets +1 more.
And then you get your second rank because you didn't charge this round.
So I get 10 attacks.
Yeah, but -1.
-1, so I get 9.
Yeah, because the guy here would actually take that spot. So we'll put a guy there to help us remember. You just don't get to attack with him.
Okay.
But yeah, you get 9 attacks here.
So can I have a couple more dice?
Oh yeah. What do you need?
2.
Dose. Because I'll need all those like right back.
And I'm looking for 4s here
Yes.
to hit.
Because we're going simultaneously, whatever you kill from my front rank is still attacking because
Oh, so
they're
that'd be
attacking
the
at
only difference. Okay, so I have
It's a really good roll.
6. And then I'm wounding on 1s and re-rolling 6s.
Wounding on 4s.
Wounding on, yeah.
Rerolling nothing.
So
Wow.
4, 5.
Okay, so I got 5 ups because they have slight armor shield. Let's see how we do here. We saved 1. That's 4 dead. That's huge. Like I said, I get the attacks, but that's still 4 points of combat res. And that rank is completely gone. All right, so I have 10 attacks back because they're going at the same time.
Do you get 10 because the champion already attacked? Or the chieftain or
I have
the challenge?
Yeah, because I have 5 from the front rank because the champion has another attack, and then I have the whole back rank.
So he still attacks even though the challenge happened.
Wait. So the champion of the unit is this guy.
Oh, yeah,
not the noble. He's
the noble
a character.
Okay.
He already did his attacks. He's done.
Oh, got it. So
Yeah.
you have 9 units attacking, but 1 is the champion.
Yes.
So it gets.
And he has 2 attacks.
Okay.
Almost all champions get that. Things like the archers, their champion gets an extra ballistic skill instead of an extra attack.
Okay.
But yeah, almost everywhere else is just +1 attack.
All right.
So I have 9 spear elves left. They're all attacking.
All right.
3s. Yo, that was really good for me. And then 4s, because strength 3 versus toughness 3.
All right.
Ba-boom. That was also incredibly good.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, how about 6?
6.
No AP, so you got your 5 up light armor shield.
Oh, yeah. I was ready to pull him.
Yeah, don't forget your armor. That's huge. In this case, it saved 4. Wow! Oh no, that's a 4. Saved 3 still.
Okay.
That's better than average again. So 3 die. So we'll take them from the
Are
back.
we gonna tie again?
I don't know.
Oh,
no, you have one more rank. I think you win. All right. So I did 4 wounds. I have 1 rank and a banner. Barely have a rank. You also did 4 wounds. So we'll just take away 4.
Mhm.
You have 2 ranks and you have a banner. So I lose by 1.
Okay.
Even though I killed your chieftain.
He was all right.
Which
no one really liked him.
Really good for you because if I had 1, you're testing on a 5. Well, 6, 7.
Oh, because I don't
actually.
have my big dude anymore.
You still have your warband, but you're only down leadership 1. All right, so now I'm testing on my leadership 9 of my noble. Let me triple check he's 9.
Mhm.
He is, because a prince is 10. This is where it can be a little tricky because I lost by 1.
Okay.
So
you need to roll at 8 or better?
okay, so I rolled an 8. So yes, I rolled my leadership,
Okay.
right? My modified leadership.
Yeah.
So I give ground,
And what is that?
or just back up 2 inches.
Okay.
If I had rolled, let's see, you don't double outnumber me. So I would have had to roll a 10 or 11 or 10, 11, 12 to actually break. So I just back up 2 inches and then you can choose to follow up or not.
And what is that?
We'll go there. Oh, they're going to fall over. You want to put a die under there?
A die under there? Oh, I
Yeah.
gotcha.
Or yeah, nice. Okay, so now it's your choice to follow up or not because you won combat. So again, you can just follow up 2 inches. We stay in combat. Let's see, it's your turn next, or you can test to restrain and reform.
Okay. Now, if I were to do that, what does following up do? Just keeps us engaged?
You move up 2 inches. We're still engaged. Nobody counts as charging again. The combat just continues. I just backed up 2 inches.
Okay. I think we will follow up here because if I charge, I'm going to lose that additional row of attacks
Yep.
from my spears.
Yep.
You have about 2/3 of the dudes I have, but you have your champion. He's going to go first anyway.
My character, yeah.
Your character. Yeah, I think we do that, and then I don't have to worry about the charge stuff next turn.
Okay. So you just follow up. You don't have to. So that is like the default.
Yeah.
You would test to not do that. So you just follow up those 2 inches. We're
Okay.
still in combat. So then it's top of your turn 5.
All right.
No strategy phase, no shooting, no movement. So right back to combat.
All right.
So now, because it's your turn, you still have a champion. You could still declare a challenge with that champion. At this point, I wouldn't really recommend it.
Yeah, I didn't think that would be a cool dude move.
Yeah, because if I accept with my champion, with my character, he's got full plate armor.
Yeah.
He's got a 4-up save.
Okay.
So like he's pretty defensive.
So we'll just go into it. So I assume your champion starts first.
Yeah, I also won't declare a challenge because I want my noble to just kill some rats.
Yeah, it seems like a good use of his time.
Yeah, so the couple different things you can do with characters. The thing that drives me a little crazy is that like he's expensive, right? He's well over 100 points by himself.
Mhm.
He only has 2 wounds though. He's what we call a hero level character with 2 wounds. Like what we call lord level characters, like a Skaven warlord or a high elf prince, have 3 wounds typically.
Okay.
So like they can be really squishy, but they can do a ton of damage.
All right.
So like he's gonna hit on 3s here because he's weapon skill 6, your weapon skill 3, re-rolling 1s. Always that 2.
There's not always that 2. There's normally 2 1s.
I know. But then both times I re-rolled it into a 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm strength 4, your toughness 3, so 3's to wound you. And we get both. No AP still because it's just a hand weapon.
So I'm
So you
rolling
get your
2
5 up.
5-ups.
Yep.
I
And
save
you make
1.
one. But you lose that 2nd rank.
Yes.
Big deal. Okay, so now my again everything else
Everything's gonna
is
happen
the
at the
same
same
time. So
This
I'll
time I'm
just-
not losing that 1 attack, so I'm going to be getting 11 attacks here, and you're going to be getting 10. Is that accurate?
10 and 10.
10 and 10.
You'll still get 10 because you got. Oh no, you're right. 11.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I'll just roll mine quick because I got
Yeah.
the dice ready. 3s. Another really good roll. And 4s. Not great. 3. Still decent. I'll take it. I won't
Okay.
complain about 3 wounds.
So 3 5-ups. We'll save 2. of them,
Wow,
so
only
lose
one. So normally, again, if I was actually going before you, you would have lost that attack. But because they're simultaneous, You don't, and you get to roll all 11.
I'm gonna go ahead and take 6 dice from here.
Go ahead. Remember when I said we wouldn't need more than like 10 dice?
Yeah.
You know, between the two of us, we did 4s, so good roll. Yikes.
And then 4s again.
Yep. So I've only killed 2? Uh-oh.
So we're doing 8 wound checks here on 4s, right?
Yeah, because your strength is equal to my toughness.
So that'll be 5.
5, all right. 5 up. Blade armor shield. Not flat. That's 3 dead already. How about 4? How about you kill 4 elves?
That sounds actually pretty good for me.
All right, so you're definitely winning combat. Okay, so again, we'll add this up just so you get used to it. You did 4, right?
Yep. I have
bring those over here to
musician
count.
and a banner.
Not yet. The banner,
okay.
And you have 1 full rank after, in addition to the fighting rank.
Yes.
So you got 6 points.
Okay.
I killed 2 rats. I don't have a rank. I have a banner. You win by 3.
Okay.
Oh, I've been forgetting this whole time. Close order.
Is that what is that?
So we both have it, so it's a wash. Close order is units can be close order, open order, or skirmish.
Okay.
Close order gives you an additional +1 combat resolution.
Gotcha.
But both of our units had it, so it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yep.
So technically, we both have close order, blah, blah. I still lose by 3. So now I'm testing on a 6.
On 2 dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I went from leadership 9 down to 6 here. Oh, that's
wow,
not
that's
good.
an 11.
Okay, so that's an 11. You double outnumber me, definitely, because I've got 6 left and you've got 13. So actually barely. Oh, that's lucky number 13. Skaven love that number.
They do.
So
I've been saying it for right now.
I full break. I am fleeing.
Okay.
So this is where I always get these numbers mixed up. So let's double check things. I don't know how Andy does it. He's like, yeah, you roll this, I roll that.
Well,
I just cannot remember.
He's a champion. And some might even say a chieftain.
For real. All right. No, he's a war boss because he loves orcs and goblins. All right. Let's see. Loser breaks and flees. The losing unit breaks, immediately turning to him and fleeing, described on page 132. A unit that breaks and flees from combat flees directly away from the unit. Winning unit with the highest unit strength. Obviously, there's only 1 unit here. So this will basically be game at this point. So I flee 2d6 inches. Now, you choose whether to pursue or not. So pursue, unit 1 combat can pursue, unit that falls back in good order or flees. You roll 2d6. So we're both just rolling 2d6.
Okay.
So if you roll higher than me, you catch me, and I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure my unit is gone.
Okay.
So my flee is 6.
5.
Okay, got to check one thing. I'm pretty sure this only applies to fleeing. Skaven have scurry away, which if they flee, they do whatever, 2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
Because they're cowards and run away. I don't think it applies to pursuit, but I will double check just in case because it matters. So scurry away, flee, just flee. Okay, so I go 6 away from you, and you follow me 5. So you're just an inch behind me. So I'm just going to take them off the tray for now. And for a little, we have to go more this way a little bit because of the terrain. Bear with me.
Bear is similar to the 6 on the Kuma's Corner dice.
Yeah.
That is Kuma's Corner in Schaumburg, Illinois, no longer the home of Adepticon.
Yeah, sadly. Well, we don't know about this new place.
The new place has a ton of food options.
I will miss Kuma's Corner. All right, and you're 1 inch behind me there.
Okay.
Okay, so didn't quite go off the table, but now we have stuff to do in the strategy phase. So if I fail to rally, like you did with those other guys, a very good chance I'm going off the table. Almost certainly. So that'll be the first thing we do here because I have nothing else to do in the strategy phase. So I need to, now I'm just rolling on my leadership.
Okay.
9. Oh no!
Oh yeah, rolling high here is bad.
Yeah, so that's
you
an
rolled
11.
2 11 for leadership tests in a row?
2 in a row. So that's an 11. That is a fail. Let me double check something. They have, because they're old, and have been around a long time and have fought a bunch. They have a rule called something Valor. I can never remember what it is. Valor of Ages. A unit with this special may reroll any failed panic test caused by taking heavy casualties or being but fled through by a friendly unit. Does not apply here because they pass those anyway.
So effectively, if you roll a 4 or higher here, that unit's just gone?
Okay, I was going to ask if you had just measured that. Yeah, so 4 or higher
from the middle.
on 2d6.
So,
well, even closer, the noble there is going to...
Because this is what I did. I was like, oh, that's...
I think I have to roll double ones to stay on the table. I just rolled 2 11s.
I've seen it before.
No, another 9. So they're gone. So that unit is dead-zo.
So do I get an opportunity to reposition or whatever that was, or
no? Because you chose to follow up.
Okay.
So now the rest of my turn is just those guys. Our combat was here. Those wouldn't have needed a panic test because it wasn't within 6 inches. I don't think. I think I forgot that. So I'm just going to try to pepper you with some arrows.
Oh, of the dudes
just to finish my turn.
Yeah, I think they were super fine. That's even pretty far over, I feel.
When they broke from combat, they would trigger panic tests. I think
so. Not when they actually leave the table.
No,
but when they gotcha.
I'm pretty sure it's within 6 inches. I don't even know where I would find that. All right, I'm just gonna roll all my archers together here. Yeah. I got 7 shots. I'll need 4s because you're in my front arc and within half. Or sorry, 3s. But still.
Half of that roll looked really good.
Yeah.
I looked at the bottom part and I was like, oh, that's all 5s and 6s. Good on him.
4s. Oh, wow. Okay, 4 success. 1 is armor bane, so you got 1 6-up and 3 5-ups.
Okay, so here's the 5-ups. We're gonna save 1.
Okay,
and then
so 2 dead, 3 dead. So that last row, 3 out of 13. Is that a quarter? No. Wait. No. Because it's a quarter of 12.
Just shy of it.
Barely, yeah.
Just shy of it.
That's my turn, whatever. 5?
Yep.
Okay, so now, just because we're playing this scenario, really this scenario is just like the basic game. We have random game length. So at the end of the 5th round, roll a d6. If you roll a 5 or 6, it's over. All right, so that's game. Add the round number to the dice roll. If the total is 10 or more, the battle ends immediately.
Okay.
So now, in a typical game, you add up victory points.
Okay.
Which is actually, at 500 points, it's really hard not to get a draw. You have to have a difference of more than 100.
Oh, okay.
But it's what's killed, basically. So, essentially, you would, I killed half of this unit exactly, so I'd get no points for that.
It is more than half because you had the 1 in the back and the chieftain was in there. I don't know.
Well, there was 20.
Okay.
So I get points for the chieftain because I killed him.
Yep.
Actually, I get bonus points because he was a general.
Okay.
But you killed my general too. So it's the 20 starting clan rats. There's half of them left.
Okay.
Because totally the points for that gets a little weird. It's easy if they're fled or dead, you get their points, right? So you get my chariot, get all the spears, and my noble. I get 1 unit of clan rats, both warp fire throwers, both chieftains.
Mm-hmm.
And then extra 100 points for killing the general.
Okay.
Technically, you gain 50 points for claiming a standard. When that unit broke and fled, you actually took the banner. I should have replaced it with another model.
Okay.
That doesn't have a banner. So you actually gain another 50 points for that. And then, let's see, each enemy, okay, this is numbers, ready? Each enemy unit that has been reduced to less than 25% of its starting unit strength is worth a number of victory points equal to 25% of its point cost.
So thankfully that won't play an effect here at all because everything has 50% or more.
Right. So how much is 1 unit of your clan rats with spears?
1 unit of my clan rats with spears is 212 points. Or 192 points. I don't know, man.
212.
Okay.
So that's how many points you still have on the table.
Gotcha.
So technically I have 500 minus that I scored.
Gotcha.
Right? So what I have left is 2 units of 5 archers worth 110 total. Mm-hmm. So real quick, just to complete it, to do it properly. So I got 288.
That says 212.
500 minus that.
Oh, yes. So yeah, so you'd have 288.
So I scored 288 plus the general, 388.
Okay.
All right. Let's remember that. 388. Remember, chat. So I had 110 left. So you scored 390
Yes.
plus my general is 490.
Yep.
Plus one banner is 540.
Okay.
So you win by more than 100 points. So it's a victory.
Okay. I believe you.
So most people add up what they have left, and you just subtract it from your total, right? You had exactly 500 points.
Gotcha.
So it was just whatever you had left, and then you add up the other bonuses.
Okay.
So yeah, because I only have 2 little piddly units of archers left, and I don't get any points for this unit, even though I killed half of them.
Any?
None. If you had 5 left, I would get a quarter of the units.
Because if it's a quarter or less. But I didn't get any points for your archers.
Correct.
But they're just cheaper than...
They're just 2 units of 5 archers, as cheap as they can be. They're 55 points each.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's basic Warhammer.
Okay, so let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
I have a couple follow-up things.
Of course.
What could have protected my warp throwers from being targeted? If I had kept them closer to things, would that have been better?
Yeah, so they want to be within, I think it's within 3 of their parent unit. Let me double check that one. So they have targeting weapon teams. If it is in 3 inches of its parent unit, and if that unit contains 5 or more models and is not itself fleeing, a weapon team cannot be targeted by enemy shooting or by enemy spells unless the weapon team is the closest target.
Okay, so when that one unit started fleeing, it was kind of all over for that one.
Yeah, then
I moved the others way too far away. Oh, no, I didn't.
So, well, the other one was here, and you had the parent unit over here, yeah, but it was doing its job.
Correct.
Yeah, weapon teams, they want to be moving with the parent unit to a point,
but then they can't
because
attack.
the warfire throwers can't move and shoot,
yeah,
they have to give it. So it keeps them alive the first round or 2 from long range shooting, which is really important.
Yeah, the warfire throws are really fun.
They're super cool. And I thought about not including them, and I was like, well, it's that or more clan rats, because at 500 points, there's no options
I would have
for
been
escaping.
Aggressively bored with that. But no, I really like range. When I played 40K, my Tyranids was big shooting.
Yeah,
army.
lots of shooting.
So no, that's actually, this is not as complicated as I was making it out to be in my own head. There's a bunch of other extraneous stuff to remember, like the movement stuff.
Yeah,
and it's going to take me a little bit to get wheeling down correctly. But
definitely. And we didn't even touch magic or monsters or war machines, or there's a lot. But I mean, you've played war games, you know the basic stuff. You'll pick it up really quick. It's just learning the specifics of your army.
The one thing that wasn't connecting with me was when my weapon skill was 1 lower and yours was only 1 higher, I was not anticipating my rolls to be like they should have been.
What do you mean?
So like when yours was higher, I was still 4s to wound, even though you were higher. So I assumed that should have been 5s.
To hit, yeah. So there's a chart which...
So it's not 1 for 1, it's just whether it's higher or lower anymore. It's actually based on the grid.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there's a pattern to it. It's pretty straightforward, right? So there's a lot of 4+ on the chart. So even though your weapon skill is 3 minus 4, it's still 4s.
That's probably a great change. Because I was expecting that, like, oh, mine's 3s, yours is 4s, so now it's going to be really difficult to hit you. But it's not, because you're, okay.
No.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's like I was saying, if your weapon skill 3, you don't need 5s to hit until your opponent's weapon skill 7. Double +1.
Wow.
Yeah. So hitting on 5s is pretty rare. It's when you have like schlub clan rats against like a high elf prince. They would need 5s to hit him.
So that's got to make the games go faster too, because things are being hit more often and taking off the table quicker.
Can be, yeah. They also kind of reduced, armor piercing is really important because not everything gets it. It used to just be like strength 4 started piercing armor regardless.
Okay. Which
is just, I'm really glad they got rid of that. For the most part, like your clan rats had armor piercing at strength 4 because they had those warpstone weapons, which would have been nice if he hit and wounded against my noble.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay.
So like armor piercing super important.
Yep.
It's not as prevalent as it used to be, which
the armor bane thing is actually super cool too. I like that because it's like, I got a 6 though.
Let's go. Yeah. I love that longbows get it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They have longer range and armor bane. And they get this cool rule called volley, which if you take bigger units and they have ranks, half, like if I had a unit of 20 archers, the first rank can shoot and then half of each other rank can shoot.
Okay.
Because they can shoot up and over their guys. But
But
not every shooting unit can do that.
Outside of just not completely getting the wheeling thing or exactly how far a wheel would be, the thing that I was super intimidated about was like, oh, so, okay, if they come in from my side, it's this. I got to be like super precarious with how my dudes are facing. That was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I had built that up in my head like way too high.
So flank charges are bad because they get the one that did the charge that's in a flank. It's an additional +1 combat resolution. But what makes it really bad is it can really limit the attacks back. Because a lot of times, most fighting units are going to have more files than ranks. So if you hit them in the side, they're not going to have, that 7 frontage or whatever it is. I kept it to 5 just because of the trays we have and just to keep it simple. But, if you got 7 in the front, you got 3, maybe 4 on the side.
Okay.
So you're going to almost certainly not get to attack back if you get hit in the flank.
Yeah.
Which is going to lower your chances. If you're in the rear of a unit, it's +2 combat resolution.
In the rear with the gear, as they say.
Really, really bad to get hit in the rear.
Okay. Yeah, no, this was a blast. I like this a lot. I would absolutely urge people, like if you have old models or you have friends that have multiple armies,
this game.
That is this was a blast.
So just for a little tease for 1,000 points, for your list, the spears are 24 instead of 20. Added the general is upgraded to a warlord.
Man, I know.
And magic items.
Yeah.
And then I gave you rat ogres.
The spears in general, being able to fight in an additional rank is so good.
They're really good.
That's awesome.
A lot of people are saying spears are the weapon this edition.
Yeah. To go from, especially if there's challenges and stuff, to be able to go from like 4 or 5 attacks to like 11.
Yeah. It's a big difference. It's tough though, because it's like, I want to charge. But wait, no, I don't, because I want more attacks, but I get more initiative. Oh, and I also gave you a Warlock Engineer for some magic, like Warp Lightning.
I do love magic.
And then on my side, I kept the list the same, just added some stuff. I think, what did I do? I added a White Lion Chariot.
Yeah.
Because they're cool. My own mage with high magic, and then a Frostheart Phoenix, so you could see a monster. And I gave you the Rat Ogre, so you could see Monstrous Infantry, and Frenzy is a really fun rule.
And so Monstrous Infantry and monsters are different things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Monsters are pretty much always one model. In this case, it's a big ice bird. Yeah. But your Monstrous Infantry, it's a unit of 3 Rat Ogres with a little Packmaster behind poking them with a stick to go that way.
I like that.
That's really good.
Well, and on Beards, Ears, and Skulls, I remember us talking about like, if a phoenix gets too old, it becomes an ice phoenix.
Yeah,
and I think that's
an old phoenix.
Super cool.
So yeah, that'll be next up in teaching Tim Warhammer will be 1,000 points to try out some magic and other unit types. And
I love shooting so much. So the fact that you get a reaction where you could just outroll your opponent that wants to kick your teeth in, you're like, no, too far away. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the flee as a reaction can be a lot better with something that's not move or shoot.
Yes.
But you know. That can be rough.
No, that's super cool. There's a lot of interplay here. It's not super straightforward, and I can see the ceiling for players that like Andy, right? That have been playing it for a long time and understand those back and forths. I dig it.
A lot of people think fantasy is charge, fight in the middle, and then overrun. But like this unit of Clan Rats started here, went over this way, killed something, turned around, went back over this way, killed something. Like, there was a lot of movement with that, especially for 500 points. I've seen games where, 1,000 points, you're playing the whole big table, and the whole thing swirls around. You got, all of a sudden, last time I played against Andy, all of a sudden I was completely surrounded by Bretonnians and Pegasus Knights flying around, like, and you got 15 armies of all kinds of different stuff.
Why would you ever play just dudes, though? You know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Well,
but
there's on horses.
There's orcs out there.
And there's dudes on flying horses. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, flying horses are, in fact, better than just dudes.
But yeah, Andy does have a lot of... He loves orcs.
He's a good man.
The OG war boss himself.
Good man. But yeah, guys, as always, please comment. What did I get wrong? What should I not have done? What did Dan get wrong? What did we forget? Smash that like button, subscribe, all that great stuff. And, just tell Dan what a great job he did on them trees and literally all the models.
Yeah, actually, except for the Taylor made that. And he painted the fences we have as the edge and this piece. But also, if you commented about me forgetting close order, I don't know if you can edit a comment on there and be like, oh, he caught it at the end.
Funny you think I'm editing this, but
What?
yeah, I got.
No, I said people that commented.
Oh, I gotcha. I thought you said if you could edit this, and I was like,
No, if you catch.
I don't
no,
even
I don't know
how
what
to
I said
spell
now.
that. It's not numbers. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
It's out of my hands. But guys, yeah, for real. Thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I guess wait for more.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks, Tam.
Thanks, Dan.